I will tell you. I will show you. The grave diggers have gone. We are unobserved. Close the door.
The tomb of the Westenra family. If they knew...
What is that? Give me the bag.
If these others who sleep here knew the purpose to which their tomb is to be put. If they knew that one of their lovers...
We have that to do which it must be done. Set up the lantern there and enter the coffin so we may see to work.
To work? Yes.
And here, ready, the garlic flowers.
What was that?
A dog?
What are you laughing at, Van Helsing?
I was thinking of my friend in his Holland greenhouse who sent me these flowers. Strange medicine.
What for?
When we are done, we lay them in the grave to make intolerable the grave to the vampire who must ever by day return to it.
So Lucy may never be at rest.
You forget then she will not be vampire. Open the coffin. Open the coffin. We must bring to her peace.
Yes. Oh, this strange, terrifying beauty. Is this really Lucy? Are those the lips I kissed?
It is and it is not. Do not think. You are still willing?
Yes. No one else has the right or the duty. I'm ready.
Then in the bag you will find what you need.
Yes.
The mallet, the pointed wooden stake.
You are very methodical.
Do not think, just do. Take them.
Yes. The stake. Where?
The heart. The heart.
The heart.
Through the heart, right through, and she will have peace. Now take up the mallet.
The mallet. Yes.
No, this is wrong. I should be the one.
No, she is mine. No one will do this to her but me. My God, how I loved her.
Remember her career. It has just begun. Those children, they are not yet so much the worse. If she live on, undead, by her power over them, they come to her. They become as her. But if she die in truth, then all cease. The tiny wounds from the throat disappear. The children play, not knowing of this. And the soul of the poor lady whom we love shall be free.
Yes.
And perhaps she will know it is his hand that freed her, the hand of him that loved her best. Now, let it be done. Eternal rest give to her, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon her.
Oh, dear God, I can't.
Do it, will you leave her in torment? The just shall be in everlasting remembrance. She shall not fear the evil hearing. Absolve, O Lord, the souls of all the faithful departed from every bond of sin. And by the help of thy grace, let her be found worthy to escape the sentence of vengeance and to enjoy the full beatitude of the light eternal.
Master, Master, I await you, Lord and Master. I am here to serve you, Lord, Master. Remember me.
Now then, what's all this, Mr. Renfield? Why not play with your little sparrows and give us a rest?
I've eaten them. They're nothing to me. Let me, if you will, sir, enjoy a moment of Dr. Seward's inestimable company.
The doctor's sick today, and if you ask me, I don't blame him. Shame on you, Mr. Renfield. All those nice, pleasant little sparrows, so chipper and friendly.
Ah, madam, I am honored indeed.
Now what?
What incomparable elegance, what gentle, dainty charm.
Why, thank you, Mr. Renfield. I do my best to keep up appearances.
I refer, insolent rogues, to the lady behind you.
Oh, her. Ladies are always following me about.
Are you Dr. Stewart?
Oh, bless me.
It's you again.
Yes, it's me again, and the doctor can't see you. And how did you get in?
I walked in, and I must see Dr. Stewart. It's about my husband. His mind. Some disorder. It haunts me. It terrifies me. You must let me see him.
Rogue, would you let a lady weep? All right. I'll ask him again, Mum.
John, friend John. You're feeling better, perhaps? Possibly you should to your bed return another sedative.
No.
There's so little we know. I have learned the first time when he enter a house, he must receive invitation. But he's cunning. We must trace each detail in the case of poor Lucy. What do you watch so intently?
Nothing. Go on.
Each moment of her life, from the moment of the first sign, the paleness, the dreams, the throat wounds, this we must trace and study for some clue. What do you do with the pistol, friend John?
This!
Friend John, what is this?
In the window with his black, ugly wings spread out, there was a bat.
Ah, a bat.
Dr. Seward, are you all right, sir?
Quite all right, thank you, Swales. I just shot a bat.
Dr. Seward.
Swales, who is this young lady?
I'm sorry, sir. I heard the shot. She would follow me.
Dr. Seward, I believe it is not considered quite fashionable to point at a gentlewoman with a pistol.
What? Oh, your pardon. What is it you want?
Dr. Seward, it's about my husband, and your reputation has brought me to him.
What about your husband?
He's perfectly sane, and he insists he's insane.
That's refreshing. The world is full of people perfectly insane, insisting they're sane.
Please, Dr. Seward, it really is driving both of us out of our minds. He had some terrible experience he won't speak of. He was ill a long time, and now... Oh, you must help us, Dr. Seward. Prove to him he isn't unbalanced.
Friend John, there is no bat here, shot at or otherwise.
Dr. Seward, please.
What's your name?
Mrs. Harker, Mrs. Jonathan Harker.
I didn't mind the train down to Purfleet, but the carriage, the sound of those wheels, the horses' hoofs.
Oh, Jonathan, darling, we'll be there in a minute.
Unbearable, unbearable.
Oh, darling, please. Dr. Seward will help you, you'll see. But you'll have to let him have that sealed journal.
Oh, yes. Yes, I know you're right, Mina. We have to settle this, and the journal is part of it.
Oh, Jonathan, now that you're facing this, everything will be right.
Dear, lovely Mina, so good to me, so patient.
No, darling, I'm not. I love you, that's all.
Even as I am, tormented with the certainty of...
No, darling, sweetheart. There's nothing certain about it except that you've been ill, and you'll be better. And there's nothing wrong with your mind. Do you think I could love and marry someone whose mind... What is it?
Do you hear it?
What?
You must hear it. Tell me, Mina, that you hear it too.
Jonathan, what? Do you mean the music?
Oh, yes, I meant the music.
It's only a gypsy camp out there by the road.
Only a gypsy camp. Take me to your doctor of Melbourne. Lock me up. Well, Dr. Seward, you read it. I haven't even allowed Mina here to see it. All those experiences, they're real to me. Everything's so real. Well, all those experiences...
Well, Doctor?
Oh, Lord, I see myself hanging above the ghastly abyss, climbing. None of it possible but the brain fever in the Budapest hospital. I know it happened, therefore I must have a madness in me.
Doctor, please, say something.
Van Helsing!
Doctor!
Van Helsing! Swales, you rascal!
Yes, Doctor. What is it,
Van
Doctor?
Helsing, get him in here, now, this instant. Hurry, what are you standing there for?
Love me. Yes, indeed, at once.
For the love of heaven,
No
Doctor!
use, Mina.
Now listen, you two are moving into my quarters here. You, Mr. Harker, are going to tell me everything you know about this Count Dracula. Every contact you gave him, every solicitor's name, every small detail you can rip up from your memory.
Is that to be part of the treatment?
Treatment? Jonathan Harker, you're as sane as I or the great Van Helsing himself. We need you, Jonathan Harker. And we're going to war.
War?
Yes, war on Dracula. Mr. Renfield, you have made yourself very difficult with your insistence when I'm exceedingly busy. What is it you wish? Sugar for flies?
Dr. Seward, I am in full possession of my faculties. I must beg of you to release me.
If that is true, in time, Mr. Renfield.
No, sir, now. This request is not of first consequence to myself, but to the health, the welfare, the very lives of others.
Why do you wish to leave, Mr. Renfield? What reasons?
If I tell you that, it will convince you only of my undoubted madness. What can I say?
You have answered for me, Mr. Renfield. Perhaps I can serve you in some other fashion.
What can I say? You will, I trust, Dr. Seward, do me the justice to bear in mind later on that I did what I could to convince you tonight.
And now, gentlemen, and dear lady of whom we have become so fond,
Thank you, Dr. Van Helsing.
now we are ready to begin to act. But we deal with one which has survived many centuries, and we must assume many attacks. We must not fail.
We won't.
He drove me to madness. He won't do that again to any other.
I'm cold.
Mina's not well today.
It has been a strain for such a gentle one.
This scarf seems hardly enough. I'll borrow a coat.
Take mine, of course.
We know that in life he was a brilliant man, a descendant of Attila the Hun. We know, too, from our studies, he must be the Count Dracula who did his army abandon to the Turkish slaughter and did homeward flee to raise a new force and try again.
And we know from Jonathan that he's at Carfax. Carfax, next door.
That is if our move's the next. Is he there? We will see.
Please, be careful. Last night, I dreamed.
Let him be careful now.
"27, 28, 29, 30. There were 50.
So these then are the boxes, the coffins, with the earth of his own grave, the vampire's lair, and each coffin a lair.
Did you hear something?
No?
It plays upon my nerves, this ruined old house. The dark shadows, the stone walls, the coffins. It's Castle Dracula again.
It is well to be cautious. Our enemy not only has a magic cunning, he has the strength of 20 men. And whereas our windpipes are of the common kind, we cannot hurt him as he can hurt us. He is dead.
Van Helsing. We've seen those boxes before.
Yes, friend John. An uncommon vampire is Dracula, so wily as to have provided himself somewhere in London with 20 ways of escape and of hiding besides this old house's headquarters. It is our friend Jonathan here who must show us how to trace them through the solicitors, the shippers and carters who unknowingly transported these terrible things.
Renfield attacked those carters.
Renfield? Yes. Yes, Lord and Master was his cry.
Renfield knows something about this. We've got to see him.
I thought I saw a face.
Where?
There, in the shadows. The highlights of his face, the high ridge of the nose, the red lips, the red eyes, the awful color.
There's nothing there.
Listen.
Rats.
Dr. Seward! Dr. Seward! What's that?
Swales.
Thousands of rats. Look, they're coming.
It's him. He's sending them. Dr. Seward, it's Mr. Renfield. Someone tried to murder him.
Someone tried to murder Renfield.
Dracula sends these rats.
Great heavens, I see a million wicked eyes. Run! Run!
This is how I found him, Doctor. Just a few minutes back, as I was coming round to light the lamps. The window bars torn open, the door flung into the corridor, and the poor old loony.
Jacket. Take off the straitjacket.
There is no straitjacket, Mr. Renfield.
Poor devil smashed about like that.
We must arouse him. He must talk.
Brandy.
Swales, brandy in my office.
Brandy.
Mr. Renfield, tell us.
The dogs howled, and the bats came. In the mist, he stood at my window as before. His eyes were fierce, like a man's when mad. He laughed with his red mouth, the white teeth tinted in the moonlight. I was angry. Before he sent the flies, the great fat ones, with steel and sapphire on their wings, all lives, all red blood, with years of life in it. All these lives and more will I give you through countless ages if you fall down and worship me. I invite him in. Come in, Lord and Master. Enter. He laughs. He's in my room. Then I know it is next to be the young lady of charm. I am a madman, and let me have a madman's strength. Yes, Lord and Master, I gave you the test. I gave you... Oh, Lord.
Renfield? Renfield!
Hey everybody, thanks for checking out our weekly Curse of Strahd League. I am DiceDad with DiceDad Games, and this is week 7 of our 5 p.m. game of Curse of Strahd. Every week we have on Wednesdays an open league in our Discord where anyone who comes in can request a spot, and the first 6 people for each time slot get to play. So our party... a few people who really like to play, they managed to get in pretty early. I got people that coming in at 12:01 a.m. on Wednesdays, reserving their spots. But the party does shift a little bit every week. And so we are on week 6 of Curse of Strahd. The party has just reached the town gates to the town of Vallaki in the middle of the night after starting a forest fire and losing half of their party, as well as letting a vampire spawn loose in the woods. So a lot is happening, and there's a lot to answer for this week. So let me go ahead and hop into this Discord, and we can join the party.
For a first level heal.
Oh, hi.
Heal in the game that does
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Hi. Wait.
All right. Are we all doing pretty good tonight?
Oh yeah, this is
Yeah,
a
no, I
fun
talked to everyone. I was like, I'm gonna just like, I discussed
He's telling us
everything to
about our
everyone.
ass chewing that's coming.
I just said that my character's gonna yell at you guys for getting rid of him.
I was just telling the
And-
stream
Roger,
that
we
there is
just
a
told
lot
you we
to
don't
answer
care.
for this week. Cut out pretty bad there, Tavis.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours comes so badly in, Tavis.
Tavis.
Trying to kill us. Yes.
I was saying your mic
Nobody
got
can
real.
hear you.
Yeah, your mic cut out real bad there. So I'll go ahead and give everyone a brief recap of what happened last week. We'll go ahead and reintroduce characters because I know there is some party shifting this week, as well as a few people who I think are changing characters. So to catch everyone up, this party is in the mist-cloaked lands of Barovia. This is a land ruled over by a vampire named Strahd, who basically keeps an iron grip over this little valley in between these two mountains. And no, people can come in, and people he likes can leave, but if he doesn't let you leave, you're stuck in there. The party was enticed in by a group of wandering nomads called the Vistani. And they basically have been sent on a quest to collect several objects of power, and to have been sent on a
Who's watching the stream and doesn't have the
Who's
tab
watching
muted?
the stream and doesn't
Oh,
have the
yeah.
tab muted?
Hold up, yeah, let's address this because I could super hear myself there.
Test.
Okay.
Yes.
Not me.
Well, whoever had it isn't doing it now, so let me continue. Yes. So the group of you have been enticed into this land and have had your fortunes told by a fortune teller named Madame Eva, who has a reputation for being able to see into the future and to be able to tell fortunes with a lot of accuracy. And she gives a lot of prophecies. She gave a prophecy.
It's Tavis.
Yeah. Hey, can you go on push to
You've
talk,
gotta
please?
mute your mic. You've gotta mute your mic.
Cool. Oh.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he'll be back. He's probably trying to reset something or get something set up.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and put a mute on. Let me know in the chat whenever you've got it fixed, and we will unmute you. All right, cool. So, yes. You are seeking these objects of power. Your fortune is as follows. You received the 2 of Swords, the 6 of Swords. I guess I should have the book open to read what these are. My apologies, y'all.
Nah, none needed. You're kicking butt, man.
It's been a while since we went over the fortune, so I feel like it would benefit everyone to rehear it.
I just want to clarify real quick. I did not get a fortune. Just in case, like.
It's a group fortune. They did a group fortune.
Oh, I thought there was like one for each person that was there.
No, it's
right. So, the
thanks.
first card tells of history, knowledge, and ancient will, and this card tells of history, knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. So this card relates to something that will help you understand your enemy. You got the 2 of Swords, which says, I see a sleeping prince, a servant of light and the brother of darkness. The treasure lies with him. The second card in your fortune was a card that tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. And you flipped the 6 of Swords, the Berserker. Find the mad dog's crypt. The treasure lies within, beneath the blackened bones. Your third card in your fortune tells of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. That card was the Master of Stars. The Wizard. The fortune was, look for a wizard's tower on a lake. Let the wizard's name and servant guide you to that which you seek. The fourth card that you received in your fortune telling was a card that sheds light on who will help you greatly against the battle of in the battle against darkness. So this card tells of an ally, and you drew the broken one.
Is there a 5th card?
Yes, there will be a 5th card. The broken one is your ally will be a wizard. His mind is broken, but his spells are strong. And then your last card was the Horseman. And the last card tells where your enemy is. Your enemy is a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond mortality. And this card will lead you to him. You got the Horseman, which is...
Wait, there's a mistake going on.
Oh, is there a mistake?
Yeah, we got the card of someone who lost someone and is dealing with the grief, and he's losing hope.
Whoop.
Yeah, reading the 8 o'clock games.
Are the other ones right? I think I know. There's one of these cards which has multiple choices on the card. I think I read the wrong one. Okay. Well, you just read it. Oh, I see a man of faith whose sanity hangs by a thread. He lost someone close to him. Yeah, you're right. Also the broken one, but the broken one subletter B, as opposed to the broken one subletter A. Cool. And then your final card was the Horseman. He lurks in one place to which he must return, a place of death. So, those are the fortunes that you had received. You've set off after getting a cart and a horse. You have the daughter of the burgomaster of the village of Barovia, which is like right underneath Strahd's castle. And you had a vampire who was the son of a priest, who you were taking to get healed. And last session, after all hell broke loose in the forest, just south of Vallaki, the vampire spawn was released and the party was split. So Ark and Tavis were together, basically chasing down this vampire spawn, but they lost him in the chaos and the dark. The rest of the party continued on so that they wouldn't get caught out in the dark with their charges that they were protecting, or at least the one that they still had. And so they reached the gates of Vallaki, but were having some trouble getting inside. Does that accurately recap everything?
That would be correct. Yeah, he was with the cart and all the people and the charred corpse of our gnome. And yeah, I had just gotten back to the road and caught up with Tavis, if I remember right.
All right, so you'd already caught up with him, and you two were heading towards the town. Just a second, I need to update one thing on the stream here. I gotta add in. We also need to go ahead and do character introductions before we go any further. So let's start off with Caladria. I believe you have a new character this week, right? You're leaving Velas back in Barovia.
No, Velas is with us.
Oh, okay. In the game, or in the D&D Beyond, it looked like your character changed.
Oh no, it was a mistake.
Okay.
I just put it in there by accident.
Oh, well then let me get that switched, because I have that character in here. So before we go any further, let me handle that real quick.
I still got Velas around.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, we're going to steal a lot of stuff. Okay. Velas is currently sitting down on the cart. Those who remember him know that he was a rogue, a very good thief who sells his services for money. He has white hair, black skin, like obsidian skin, red eyes. You know he comes from the Underdark, but he doesn't really elaborate on that. And you know he's sort of like very much eager to steal anything he considers valuable, but you know also he will never steal from you, from his party, and done.
All right, Muddy, go ahead and tell us about your character.
I am a birdman with a bow.
Short, sweet, and to the point. He's also a monk, a master of the four elements monk. So you wouldn't tell. I haven't seen a ton of that with the bow yet, but.
I got a bow, but yeah.
All right, Pazuzu, go ahead and tell us about your character. Let me turn this music down a little bit.
I am Kellen Belmont, no relation, and I'm as far as what I do as a character, I'm much like Velas. I'm a rogue. Same premise. I like to steal. I do it to survive, but I won't take from people that I trust or that know me. And he is just a human, 5'9", 165 pounds, pretty young, 22 years old, but green eyes, black hair, and is an atheist.
All right, Red, go ahead and tell us about your character.
So my character is Talon. They are a druid ranger. Almost became another one of the rogues. So they always try to see the best in people, and they are currently just wanting to do anything they can to try and help as many people as they can. they were raised in a forest with fey creatures, so they have a different outlook on society, kind of, and they also prefer creatures to a lot of the Nord races because of where they were raised. So they trust like animals more than they trust people, kind of.
Okay, cool. Our new player, was it Stanimir or Stanislav? Or are both of those wrong?
It's Damien, because Stanislav was in the Friday.
Oh, okay.
Stream.
Damien. All right, Damien, tell us about your character.
Damien is a somewhat soldier of an army far away. He once was part of a cavalry unit, and he always carries this helmet the size of a plate, with a plate like helmet that has like that has a 3-inch depth in the middle, somewhat like a Brody helmet.
Is it anybody else, but is he breaking up real bad for y'all as well?
Breaking up?
I can hear pretty well.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
Okay, I was just wondering if it might be me.
And wears a tunic and jodhpurs, as well as shoes that have been torn from wars he has fought in. He is a known veteran. He carries a light crossbow in one hand, and a saber in the other.
All right. Thank you very much. That's a good description. Tavis, go ahead and tell us about your character.
Oh my. I'm just a dragon.
Oh dear.
Born. It's a sword for hire.
All right. Straightforward. So that is our party for this evening. Everyone, I'm going to go ahead and send you a link in the chat for tonight's battle maps. Yeah, he broke up a little bit. For those of you who couldn't hear, he is a dragonborn sellsword who is here to sell his sword and to basically kick butt and take names. Does that pretty much sum it up?
Yes. Hey, just a reminder.
Yes.
My friend was
Sir.
was watching the stream for a bit.
Okay.
Awesome. Shout out to Damien's friend watching the stream. Cool. So we got a couple new things on the stream tonight. Well, I think I had them on last stream too, but there were some technical difficulties, so I don't think that stream ended up getting saved. But we've got a hookup to D&D Beyond now, so if you go onto the stream and you click the little thing on the right, it'll bring up a tab on the left next to the character names on the stream, and from there you can see their character names, their HP, you can see their portraits if they set one, and then if you click on them you can open up a little snippet about their character sheet that'll tell you a little more about them. So everybody go ahead and take a look at that if you like. And just to let you know, we got a couple goals tonight. If we reach 10 concurrent viewers, and I'm about to put up a counter for the viewers, I'm going to give away some stickers to some people in the chat. If we reach our follower goal tonight of 50 followers, and we're currently at 42, thank you to Obey Diamond 25 who followed a few minutes ago. If we reach that 50 follower goal, then I'm going to give away some dice. I've got two very cool sets of dice to give away. This set right here is a beautiful, like, teal sort of gemstone-y turquoise set. This glows in the dark. If I could find my blacklight flashlight, I could shine it on there and show you guys how, like, brightly this thing shines, but my ring light doesn't make them glow very well for some reason. But they frickin' glow, y'all. So I really hope I can give those away. So let's get to 50 followers. Tell some people about the stream. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. The group of you who were with the cart had basically just gotten up to the gate and talked to the guards. You tried to sweet talk your way in, but it was nighttime. You didn't have a good excuse in their eyes for them letting you in without, processing and, under the heavy lockdown that they have at night. So you were told to camp outside of the gate. And after about an hour, it's about probably 3 hours until dawn. After about an hour, you see Ark and Tavis trudging up the path out of the dark.
What was that last part you said? I wasn't able to catch that one.
The two of you trudge out of the darkness and into the torchlight around the gate that is sort of spilling over the cart, and you see your party there.
Alrighty, I'm gonna count my blessings and approach Valis.
Valis is in a trance at the moment.
What was that?
He's currently sleeping in a trance.
Okay, so in a trance you can't hear anything going on if a question's asked?
I don't know. Can I?
Yeah, you can.
Yes.
People
You're
can wake you.
semi-conscious.
Yeah.
You're still semi-conscious. So
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna ask the elf that how is everyone, and has anybody woken yet?
Valis opens his eyes and he shakes his head no. Once they wake up, I plan to lecture them good. And and we're not being let in until morning.
Oh, okay. So we're stuck out here for the night.
Yeah.
And upon hearing that, I tell Valis, well, I guess it is what it is, and we'll be out here. Walk over to the cart, look down at our little torch no more lock, sadly. And at that point, I'm going to start looking for pies in anybody's bags and destroying them.
Well, okay, I want to do something.
Sure.
Valis feels annoyed with the sleeping companions minus Irina. She was not a fighter, or combatant. So he starts lifting them and leave them outside the carts.
All right. And also for the viewers, the party, well, the druid in the party, Talon, and Irina, one of the NPCs with the group, met a little old lady, this kindly old lady who was selling dream pastries on the road at night, and bought a number of dream pastries from her, and they make them have the most pleasant dreams ever, but also force them to sleep a full 8 hours, and you can't wake them up. So they've been having some issues with watches and such in the middle of the night because the characters have been snoozing.
Am I able to find those pies? Because if I am, I would like to destroy them.
You can't because I'm a cat right now.
Yeah, whenever the druid transforms, all of his stuff goes with him.
Okay, any that Irina's got, or the other?
She's been getting them from the druid. So unfortunately, all right, Valis has a pie.
I just handed it to him.
Yeah, I'm just destroying any of them that I can find, and after that, I want to try to prepare the corpse of our fallen dead comrade. At least have some respect and kind of wrap him up. And
did you guys recover his corpse?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, cool.
That's what I missed.
Yeah, there was a party death last session as well.
Our first death of the campaign for both sessions.
Yeah, that player was not here. That player isn't here today, unfortunately. I hope that isn't why, but he's in some other campaigns in the server, so I don't think that he feels too bad about it.
No, he didn't seem like he was feeling bad about it.
Yeah, he was a good sport about it. He started a wildfire and then got consumed by said wildfire, so it was sort of poetic.
Warlock.
If he saved
Yeah,
the party,
Warlock.
that's all that matters.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna after I get him cleaned up, kind of wrapped up. I guess I'm gonna take a rest.
All right. The group of you managed to rest without any issues. There's only 2 hours. By the time you get there, there's only 2 hours left of nighttime. So everybody gets the benefit of a short rest.
Do I get the benefit of a long rest since I'm currently trancing?
You
It's 4
only got.
hours.
You need 4 hours, and you only had 3.
Okay. Do I take a point of exhaustion?
Everyone needs to make a Constitution check, and as long as you get above a 10, you're good. Or I guess it would be Constitution save.
Me as well, or no?
Save, okay.
Everyone, not you. No, you are good.
Okay, I saved.
No, Talon is well rested.
Got a 9.
17.
In fact, Talon, when your character does wake up, you are so well rested that you can have advantage on the first ability check you need to make during the session.
Oh. I didn't roll anything?
I'm sorry.
I got a 13.
Yes, Damien, I'm gonna go ahead and have you roll too. We're just the way we work. It's sort of you are with the party, so anything that had happened to the party is also kind of happening to you. So we'll say that you were with them the whole time.
I kind of got lost in the middle of it.
Okay, so you just need to make a Constitution saving throw, and as long as you get higher than a 10, you're good.
Okay,
Just go to my character sheet and roll it.
Yep.
Constitution save.
If you guys check on the battle map, that is your position at the moment.
11.
Oh.
Then you're good. You're good. As long as you guys made above a 10, you're good. If you guys didn't break a 10, you take 1 level of exhaustion.
Yeah, I got a 13. I don't know if you heard me a minute ago.
Okay, cool. So the morning comes along. Go ahead and click short rest on all of your character sheets. Just to remind you guys, during a short rest, you can spend your hit dice to heal. So every level is 1 hit dice, essentially. Some characters have like 2d6 hit dice per level, so it's different for them. But basically, you have your level's worth of hit dice that during a short rest you can roll plus Constitution mod to heal. When you take a long rest, you get half of your maximum back. So if you have 8, because you're a level 8, when you sleep you get 4 back. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes. I have a question. Like, what's the
hit points back from
No,
what your level is?
when you take a long rest, you get half of your hit dice back to spend, and your HP fills up to full. When you take a long rest, your HP is full.
Okay. What was the point of the current short rest?
Sort of a character choice, probably. Everyone just sort of like takes the 2 hours that they have left to just like rest from the exhaustive ordeal they just went through. And you can't get into the city anyways, so everybody... Is there something you'd rather do during this 2-hour period?
I was thinking is there combat in any of these games?
Yeah, there's combat. There was combat last session, and it kind of left the group damaged and fleeing for their lives. So they are running from a combat that just finished.
I would say in case of an actual combat, we should do like guarding. I should guard for the 2 hours.
Yeah, you can sit on guard for the 2 hours since your character is sort of rested. Like, not rested, you're still tired like everybody else is, but you're not damaged from the battle, so sure. So Damien takes a position, a defensive position at the front of the cart, and just sort of keeps an eye out, scanning the area for any suspect folks. But a couple hours go by, and the sun peeks out through, well, not the sun, the light. the dim light of the morning creeps through the fog-soaked valley. You can sort of smell the smell of a huge lake nearby. If any of you have ever been fishing in the early morning, that sort of like it's almost like thick, the air, and the fog is very heavy. There is a little glow coming from the torches at the gate, and you hear the iron bars that were covering the gate being lifted.
I stretch and I say, finally, they're letting us in. Ugh.
No, I've been too long with this. But we're the city, Valas.
I'll post a picture of the gates that you see in the chat.
Valas.
Yes?
It's
Big
been
city.
too long since we...
Am I awake yet?
Yes, you're awake.
I'm still awake, so I'm gonna use my character's dialogue, and I'm gonna say, "It has been way too long since I've last seen a city as big as this."
Yeah. I say yes. I'm glad we are finally at Valaki.
You hear a voice bark from over near the gates. It's Valaki, citizen.
Sorry.
Valaki, my editor.
And like I said, the gates have lifted. At least the barred part of the gate. There's still an inner gate that the guards are standing by at, that they have the final open and close on. Are you guys ready to sort of pack up? You see Irina sort of stretch in the morning. She goes, I slept so great. What happened? Where is the warlock? And then she looks over to the side and she goes, ah! As she sees his charred, desiccated corpse.
I'm gonna carry the charred, desiccated corpse.
Yeah, before we go in, we were gonna try and disguise Arena. Was that what we agreed on? I don't remember.
Y'all do whatever you want. I'm gonna go look.
I think that's what we were gonna try and do. We were gonna try and cover up as much of her face as possible. Right?
Sure.
May I ask, where on the map is Valaki's gate? Is it on the north, the south, west, or east?
It is on the eastern side of the gate or of the town. If you zoom in, you'll see that there's a little cart right by the road.
Okay.
It says "party" next to it.
Ah, there it is.
Here, it's pretty small.
Cake and punch.
I'll do a little circle here so you guys can see it. But yeah, this is the gate.
Alright, I'm gonna wait to do what I was going to talk to you guys about until we get inside the city.
I say,
Yeah.
okay, let's greet the guards. And once we're inside, I'll tell you what you guys missed while you were sleeping.
Wait a minute, and I'm going to just look for the box.
And you notice that the box is not there. The box that was containing, again, for the stream, the box that Red is referring to is the box that was containing Doru, the vampire spawned son of Father Donovich back from Barovia, the village of Barovia. They were escorting him to an abbey on the far side of the valley, where there is said to be an order of nuns who are remarkable healers, and are said to be able to cure even vampirism if you can convince them to. So they had him chained up in a coffin, and were keeping him captive, basically, so that he wouldn't go wild and feed on the party while they were sleeping. But yes, Ark rid them of that during the escape, because it was weighing the cart down and not everybody was able to climb up. So yeah, that is what is being referred to.
Just let me know when I make it to the gate. Like I said, I'm gonna grab the gnome that are wrapped up in clean cloth, and I'm gonna take and go to the gate as soon as I can get in. I want to try to find a church.
Okay, yeah, the gates are open, and front gates are open. You still need to go through the guards to get in.
Okay. Just let me know when I get there. I'll wait until you're done.
Oh, I was gonna say what I was gonna say.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
You talking to me?
Yeah. No, I'm talking to everyone. I'm like,
I was talking to
what happened? What happened? Where is he?
I look at him. I say, I honestly don't know. I look back one time, he was there, and next he's gone.
Yeah. Okay. I don't believe. My character would not believe you.
Can do an insight check on me.
Well, you'd be rolling deception, right?
No,
Against
actually,
it?
that's actually
no, because 100% I would not believe you. So it would be a deception. It just doesn't. My character just wouldn't.
Because he wasn't facing.
Yeah, but my character doesn't trust him.
Well, there's if the character isn't like lying or anything, there's no point.
I just assume he's always lying.
Well, then your insight check would tell you that he's not lying.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, so I don't roll insight. I just assume he's lying. Okay.
You could assume he's lying, but if your character would like try to find an evidence of lies, there wouldn't be because he's not lying.
No, my character would just assume he's lying just because like he wanted to be in the back of the cart.
I understand. He was actually driving the cart during that whole ordeal. He was the one up at the reins. Okay, well, let him tell you.
Yeah.
I say, okay, here is what happened last night. I'll tell you what happened.
Okay.
We were attacked in the middle of the night. We tried to wake you, tried to wake Irina, tried to wake, I think, another person, but we couldn't get you awake no matter what we did. So we were set on by these cat-like monsters that attacked us. The warlock fought them off using his fire spells. Eventually, he overran him, and there was a huge fire that started to spread from one of the warlock's abilities, and he died in combat.
Oh yeah, he did.
Fire was spreading everywhere.
And it did.
Okay, but what happened to Valak?
Okay, I'm getting to that. The fire was spreading to that. I hopped onto the driver's seat. I wanted to get as many people as we could out of there. I looked back. I saw him I saw the bots in the car. He was getting nervous, and I said, "Just be quiet and don't rattle things. I'm just trying to get us all out of here." Took the car and bolted. Travis and our bird friend stayed behind to help cover us while there was a wildfire. As soon as I got to the gate, I looked back. There was no box.
So there was just no box after. Did the box burn?
And I don't know. It was on the car one moment, and then the next, I think I heard it fall off sometime around. Anyway, there was chaos there. We lost our gnome friend, and I made a quick decision to get us all out of there, get as many people to safety.
Right,
That's what happened.
Yeah, yeah. This one I kind of do want. Yeah, because I wasn't there, so this one can you roll persuasion on this one?
So you can do an insight check to see if he's lying or not.
Yeah, that would.
Okay.
He's not trying to persuade you of anything. He's telling you what happened.
I'm gonna just be like, okay, I guess that makes sense. I guess maybe he ran, but did anyone go to check for him?
Yeah, Ark and Tavis did, and they were, like I said, they just recently rejoined you.
No, I was asking them because, again, I was...
Oh, yeah, your character wasn't there. Wait for them to get back.
Yeah,
okay.
I say, I really just don't know. Everything happened at once. There was chaos, fire, someone dead, we were attacked. We couldn't
what about you guys?
Do you two want to fill them in on what happened when you chased him into the woods?
Yeah.
I'm still walking away to the gate. I have nothing to say in this conversation.
The monk is walking with purpose towards the gate. What about you, Tavis?
I'm just going to shake my head and walk away as well.
Oof.
I'm heading to the gate with the Birdman.
I'm just looking at them. I'm just like, what?
I say, all right. I get onto the car and start to drive the car towards the gate.
All right. The group of you silently and sort of with tension in the air pack up the remaining bits of your camp, and you reach pretty quickly over where Ark and Tavis are already in progress talking with the guards.
Wait, one thing. I just remembered I could do something. I'm going to ask the horse.
Okay. What are you going to ask the horse?
If it knew what happened while I was asleep.
The horse sort of like puts its ears back and kind of stamps its feet and conveys that there was danger, and that it was afraid, and that whoever was driving helped it stay calm and get them out, and that they worked as a team.
Right. So now that I know that, I'm going to assume that it's the person currently driving the cart, and now I'm gonna like, okay, you're a better person now. This conversation turned out quite different than what I was expecting, because I rolled really bad on it. It's like,
but to be fair, even if you were really good, you have still gotten to the same conclusion that Velas was telling the truth.
Yeah. True. Now all I'm sus about is the other two. So that's
and we will jump over to them as Ark and Tavis make their way to the gates. You walk a short distance away where you see that there are two town guardsmen who are standing with pikes at attention. And as the two of you approach, they go, "Hold there, citizen. What's your business today in Vallaki?"
And I will speak and tell the guards that we were travelers on the way here, and we were attacked last night, and have lost a dear friend of ours that I wish to find a priest and a church or something of that nature to bury him, and possibly resupplies and shelter for a day. It has been a horrible, horrible evening, and I beseech you, please just let us in. We mean no harm.
What led to your negative encounter in the forest?
We were camping for the night. We were one day's travel or less from here, and we
just
for the night. In the middle of the night,
freely and willingly, so you just comfortably sleep in the Svalich woods? That seems suspicious.
Well, it wasn't really intelligent. We can look back on that now.
You say that you're looking to have funeral services for a dead companion?
Yes, sir.
Can you prove that he's not undead?
Present the corpse to him. You can look at it yourself.
He kind of like barfs in his mouth a little bit, and he goes, "Put it away, put it away. I believe you."
Okay.
What is your opinion of the vampire Strahd von Zarovich?
I speak up, and can I hear them?
Yeah, you reach them at this point.
We are no friends of Strahd.
He kind of like...
I nod in accordance.
He says, so you're with this group from last night?
Yes, sir.
As you all are talking, Irina perks up from in the back, and she says, Vladislav? And you see one of the two guards look over, and he says, Irina? And she goes, Vladislav, it's been so long! And she jumps out of the cart and she goes up and gives him a big hug, and she says, Vladislav is a distant cousin of mine. And she says, it's been, what, 2-3 years since you visited? And he goes, yes, cousin. Yeah, so you're all with Irina.
Yeah, she's not a vampire undead either.
Yeah, I look at Irina. You were supposed to hide. We agreed
He's
that you
my
were
cousin.
going to...
You think I'm not going to say hello to my cousin?
Yes, yes, I do.
We're escorting her here to be for safety, we said.
Oh, did Ismark finally convince someone to take her? I know he's been trying to recruit people from the town for years, but no one's willing to risk Strahd's ire.
Oh, we're not leaving her here though. We're taking her further, aren't we? Just look at the rest of the party, because we were gonna take her to like the priestess woman, right?
Oh, your plan is to take her to the Abbey of St. Markovia in Krezik?
Yeah, I thought that's what we all said because it was like the furthest from Strahd, and it's like,
well,
that's what we all agreed, I think, right? I'm not sure. I think so.
He turns to Irina and he says, well, while you're here, cousin, we have a festival coming soon, and it is supposed to be something special. You've got to stay in town for a few days until this festival. I would just, like, it's been a while. I'd love a chance to catch up. And she turns to the party and she says, I think I'd like that. It's been a scary couple days of travel, and I'm honestly very tired. And then she kind of like rubs her stomach and she turns to Red and she says, you wouldn't happen to have any more of those pastries, would you?
Yeah, you want some pie?
I'd love another slice.
Yeah, I don't think I should be eating them anymore. Kind of weird, but you know.
Can you make a Constitution saving throw?
Alright, sure.
I'm going to interrupt the family reunion and,
13.
excuse me, I have a...
I offer him pie too.
Get to the,
So you want some pie?
As you offer him the pie that you thought was a full pie, you look down and realize that there's a big chunk taken out of it, and as you look down in your hand, you realize that there's a big chunk of the pie. Your hand is like sticky with pie goo, and you realize that you're chewing.
I did... I would like to do something in this campaign.
You're addicted. It's like a drug.
Yeah, you're addicted now. Welcome, junkie.
I didn't even take it out of my bag. I don't know how this happened.
You said you offered him a piece of pie.
Yeah.
And you also failed.
Him?
You didn't even realize you took it out of your, like, you're like getting ready to offer him a slice, and you realize that you already have a slice in your hand, and you're halfway through it.
Yeah.
You didn't even realize that you pulled it out. It was subconscious.
Alright.
Yeah, you knocked the pie down.
I've often heard that is the first sign of an addict.
Out of his hand.
Yeah, the party slaps the pie onto the ground.
I turn to the guard and I speak.
What was that? What was that altercation about magic pies?
My pie.
That was very suspicious.
I'm going to uncover the face of the charred dead gnome.
Oh, right. There's gravity to the situation. I apologize. There are still a few things that we need to attend to before I let you into the city. First off, I need you to... He motions to the cousin, who like pulls out this like thick like vellum journal with like a quill and everything. And he says, before you enter the city, we need to take a registration. We need to take a registry of all of your weapons and armor. And they go down and write down to very fine details, like filigree, silver sword. Like they write down every weapon and piece of armor you have with like specific comments about like details about the armor to distinguish it from other pieces of armor. They also ask for your names and your business in the town. And you can either tell them or not tell them, but yeah.
I willingly give name, I willingly give, let them take account of all my gear, and my business is to bury a friend.
All right.
Speaks up.
Yeah.
Sorry. He says, okay, here's my name and I'm looking for your general store, your inn, just places where I can buy and sell stuff now. Or maybe
There are several stores in the town square. That's where most of our commerce is taking place. As well, you can go to the Arisek stockyard to buy basically general goods like wood, stone, trade goods like that. You can also get a lot of adventuring gear from them that they've recovered over the years from adventurers like yourselves who have passed through the area and maybe not come back.
Oh, so I'm going to. Can I lean into the cousin taking our information?
Sure.
I'm gonna be like, can we try and just like keep Irene's identity as on the download as possible? Because we've had some altercations. Pretty sure Strahd is trying to coerce her into his grasp.
He looks at you. He kind of like narrows his eyes, and he says, "That's a very suspicious thing you've just asked me to do."
You can ask Arena how everything's been going on. She's been constantly being attacked. We've constantly, and Strahd just, I don't know why Strahd wants her.
Can you please stop saying that name? We have rules here in the town. I understand that you're uninformed. Could you let us explain them?
Yes, please.
I not.
All right.
Every time you say his name, he hears and sees everything there.
First of all, once you have passed through the gates of the town of Vallaki, all mention of the name Strahd, and as he says Strahd, you see kind of like a shiver go down his spine, is strictly illegal, even in written form. Know that even now as I say the name, it is the last time you will hear it within the gates. Instead, if you must, simply refer to the aforementioned individual as the Devil. In addition, this noble town holds a festival every week in honor of the residents' general merriment and continued support of the burgomaster, Baron Vargas Valakovich. As guests of Vallaki, you will not be required to aid in the preparation for our festivals. However, your attendance and participation in each and every festival is absolutely mandatory for the length of your stay. Failure to attend will be in strict opposition to Vallakian law. The next great Vallakian festival, the festival of the Blazing Sun, will be held in 1 week's time in the town square. Failure to comply with any Vallakian law will mark you as a criminal to our city, and you will be punished as such in accordance to our justice system. If you have any questions, now's the time to ask.
I say, are there any things we should avoid doing that would be considered impolite for your city by city standard that might not be considered impolite elsewhere?
If you're not from here, our customs may seem strange to you, but I more than implore you, I compel you not to interfere in our local customs. As well, I ask that you don't harm any ravens that you might see. We in Vallaki and in Barovia as a whole find the raven sacred, and to hurt one or to even, menace one is considered frightful bad luck and brings on the wrath of Strahd. So do not harm a raven in here or out of here in general. Past that, I would say as long as you're all on your best behavior and you're polite and you respect our local customs and you attend our festivals, then you shouldn't have any issues at all. We are a happy city. I know that this seems very rough here, but I promise once you get on the other side, the air inside of Vallaki is much different. This is a precaution. It's a necessary precaution to keep it safe. As you will hear throughout the city, all will be well, as long as we keep a smile on our face and we keep our eyes open.
When in Vallaki, do as the Vallarkians do.
As soon as he said that, I'm going to ask him, is there any places, what was it, a blue roof? I can't remember the exact details. I think it was a blue roof. Someone told me to come to
The Blue Water Inn?
Oh, that was what it was.
Yes, you must have
I think
heard.
the birds told-
You've heard of the Blue Water Inn. It is one of the finest establishments to get drink, or to get wine or food, or for a bedroom, anywhere in the entire valley. When you go there, you know that the Mardukov family is going to leave you with your belly full, and you're going to leave well rested. I know that they have traditionally several kinds of wine on tap. Some local shortages have led to basically a decrease in supply. So I don't know. I think they've just got 2 on tap right now, but either one is worth trying. We are very proud of our local wines.
Do you have any preference of which one you'd like more?
My favorite is the Dragon Crush number 4, but I know there wasn't much of that left.
Take your word for it. We'll try that one.
The
I'll try
purple
that
mash,
one
though, my mom, she loves the purple mash.
The birds told me to come here.
I'll go with first-hand experience before. I'll keep it in mind. Thank you.
All right.
All I'm gonna be like, I'm a druid, and the birds told me to come there. I don't know why. Maybe it's because you said that ravens are sacred or something. I'm gonna say all this, directly to him.
Sorry, you say I was reading something. You said what?
I said, yeah. Oh my god, I just read what you read. In chat. No, I'm gonna be like, yeah, so I'm a druid and the birds told me to go there. I think it was the bird.
You're saying that a bird spoke to you and told you to come here.
Yeah, I mean, I'll wild shape in front of him and be like, and then unwild shape. That's kind of the thing.
As you wild shape, he goes, "Whoa!" And you see he like takes a battle stance with his pike, and he like
I turned into a cat.
He's pointing it down at you on the ground, and he says, "Do not use magic in the presence or around a guard or in the town of Vallaki. Do you understand?"
Okay.
We people here are normal people. We don't have these unnatural abilities that you adventurers wander in here with and flout around until you're picked off by the vampire. When you're here, you'll act like a mortal, or we'll put you in the stocks.
I'm an elf.
Well, go tell that to the elves with the with the Vistani encampment. Last time elves made a ruckus, we did what was necessary.
I'm just like, what? This is why I like talking to ravens more than people.
Good sir.
They don't yell at me.
Good sir. Sir, he's the only one that has these abilities. Everybody else is just. We'll keep an eye out on him for you, so nothing happens with him. We'll watch him.
Vladislav, put another entry on that person's file. Make sure to mention that they can change into animals. And you see the person furiously begin scribbling in the notebook. You're saying that none of the rest of you have any unnatural abilities that you'd like to tell us about now?
Not that I know of.
I can whistle.
Arena, can you do anything? Like, I know you use like a sword or something. Like, can you do anything neat?
Jeez.
I'm asking.
I was trained to use a blade, but I do not have any magic. No. Magic is rare here. Is a rarity. Rarity. Oh, that's a hard one. Ra-ra-ra.
Ra-ta-ta-ta.
Boy, this Strahd campaign's gotten me practicing rolling my R's for sure.
Tavis, what were you going to say back there? I heard you trying to say something.
Oh, I was like, yeah, no. Oh,
Tavis.
I guess I didn't really tell you guys. Yeah, no, the birds told me to go to like the blue place.
Okay, I was
don't know
asking
why.
Tavis.
Oh, I thought you said Talon. I'm sorry.
No, Tavis.
So hard. Yeah, I'm going to just respond to Red from now on, just for all future.
I heard Tavis trying to say something, and I heard him in the back of the cart. What's he? Or in front of us? What was he trying to say?
when they ask for other abilities, I tell them I spit acid. And I'm a guard to Irina.
We've already written down your deformities.
Cool.
We keep a close catalog on occult deformities in Vallaki.
What?
A cult?
I'm not a cult deformity.
That's like
maybe you
perfectly
weren't,
normal.
but this sort of thing happens when 10 people back in your generation mess up. One person back then makes one weird deal, and suddenly, boom, scales.
Pretty sure he's like
a tiefling.
I'm just like I'm pretty sure he's like
Just
half
gonna let
dragon.
that slide.
That's
on in.
different. I'm pretty sure. Wait, what color
One more
dragonborn
thing.
are you?
When you're in town, do not make a ruckus. If you start causing problems, then we will have a problem. And if we have a problem, then you have a problem with our guard captain, Izek, and he's not someone you want to cross. As well, if you murder anyone in our town, be it a commoner, a guard, or one of each other, that will be taken very seriously and is grounds for execution yourselves. Killing doesn't happen often. Killing doesn't happen often in Vallaki, and we'd like to keep it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the Undertaker shouldn't be too busy, and I uncover the gnome's face again.
He marks on your map. He says the coffin maker's shop is like here, and he points on the map. He says his name is Henrik Vandervoort.
I bow and say thank you, and go inside.
He also marks the
Thank you,
location
sir.
of the church, and he says that you can talk to Father Lucian Petrovich to get services for him, or to have him blessed or like interred.
Okay, I will head to the Undertaker and see about if I can leave the corpse there and go and talk to the father and deal with all that business. And that'll be what I'm doing for a bit.
All right.
Okay.
Are we immediately splitting the party, or are you guys all going
I was
together?
going to really quickly ask Karina, do you think we should tell him about the vampire guy? I think I'm whispering this to her.
Probably not. I don't want that connected to us, to be perfectly honest.
Aye.
But if an opportunity arises to help Doru, I think we should. He and I played as children. He was kind. A little older than me, but kind.
Aye.
I say, could you point me to the place where I can buy adventuring gear?
He marks on the map where the town square is. I'll mark on the map where some of these locations are for you guys real quick, so you can see.
I do some dialogue.
Sure, what's up?
So as Damien just got out of a shop looking for some antique sabers, he noticed
we're not at the point where we're shopping just yet, but like
Yeah.
you're saying that you want a bit when we go shopping, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me get us there, and then we can do that. Is that cool?
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna mark on the map the locations of a few of these places you guys are gonna go to.
So am I going with Arena to the blue thing while everyone else is going shopping, or
we will determine where everybody's going.
Aye.
You can take this opportunity to ask him where these places are.
Yeah.
All right.
Just as a thing, I'm with Falas on this one. Where if he's going to the shop, I'm going to shop with him. Just making a thing.
Okay, so the coffin maker's shop is somewhere. Let me. Okay. Okay, cool. So, I'm just gonna put dots on the places, and you guys can go from there. All right, so the town square is right here. The Blue Water Inn is right here. The Church of St. Andrew is right here. And I'm going to get the coffin maker's shop. I'm just looking at what the number is for that.
Roger, no rush, man, no rush.
Oh. And where's the blue space? The alright, that's blue. Okay.
Okay.
Have we decided how long we're staying in Valarki?
We'll decide that later.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a Valaki or Valarki?
It's Valaki.
Valaki. My.
All right, and
by
the
way,
coffin maker's shop is right here.
By the way, if you're wondering who's putting stuff on there, that's me labeling, so we know what these dots are before.
Okay, cool.
I got you.
All right, so everyone can go ahead and tell me where they would like to go. Would you like to stay in... if the groups of you who are going shopping, I would ask that you go shopping as a group. And so that way we can just do that. That way I'm not having to, like, jump around and do 3 different people shopping. We'll just handle that all at once. Is that cool?
Yeah, I plan to go shopping.
All right. Cool. So Velas is going shopping. Damien is going shopping. Who else is going shopping?
I'm with Velas and Damien.
All right. Kellen is going shopping.
I'm going coffin shopping.
Yes. Ark is going to the coffin maker. Where is Tavis going?
Tavis is going with Art.
Okay, so Tavis and Ark are going to the coffin maker, and then Irina and Talon are going to the Blue Water Inn. Is that right for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roger Dodger.
Cool. We will go ahead and start off with the Blue Water Inn. So as the two of you make your way through the town, let's see, you go on this like busy street. Let me see if there's a description. All right. There's the Blue Water Inn. Okay. You follow this like old cobblestone street, and as you guys are walking through the town, you pass lots of like food carts and lots of like busy, happy-looking people. Like the streets are very populated, and there's a lot of like noise of like hustle and bustle, as you guys are making your way through. You eventually, though, after like 15 minutes, you make your way to the very center of the town, and you see smoke coming out of the chimneys of this large 2-story wooden building with a stone foundation and sagging tile roof, upon which several ravens have perched. A painted wooden sign hangs above the main entrance, depicting a blue waterfall. And I will pull up a picture of it for you. Dead air. We're currently at 7 viewers in the Twitch stream. Just as a reminder, guys, if we make it to a total of 10 viewers, I'm going to give away some stickers to people in the Twitch chat. So if you got friends who you want to come in and watch for a little while. Also, it's got to like sit at 10 viewers for a little bit. It can't be like 10 and then back to 9. It's got to chill there for a minute. But if it does, I'm going to give away some stuff to you guys in the chat, so that should be fun. I hope I get to. And we're currently at 42 out of the 50 followers, so also pretty cool. All right. So I am posting in the chat now, and then I'll post for the viewers.
Well, that's not creepy at all.
All right, and yeah, for the viewers in the chat, there you go. That is what Talon and Irina approach. You see that there is a fair amount of activity in this place as well. You see people kind of coming and going, and you smell like the delicious smell of like sizzling bacon and like cooking vegetables and things sort of coming on the air as you guys get close to the inn, and it kind of makes your mouths sort of water and your tummies grumble. Do you guys enter?
Yeah. I make sure Arena's like lower face is covered. Like she has a mask on.
All right. So it is about 10 a.m. when you guys walk in. No, it actually hasn't been that long. You guys didn't. It's about 8 a.m. So you see that breakfast is being served. There's a handful of people that are coming around this tap room. I'm gonna go ahead and move the map to the Blue Water Inn. So if you guys are you're following along on the owlbear, I'll go ahead and move us here. Cool. Let me clear some fog of war as you guys are on the bottom floor, and then I'll set the scene.
Alright. Oh, I forgot to mark a wild shape. Lunch. Right, so I've used one.
Alright, so Red, go ahead and find yourself a token and place it there in the tap room.
Alright, give me a moment. My screen kind of like is glitched and on the, let me reset Owl Veil real quick.
Okay.
Because it zoomed in and it won't, zoomed out and it wouldn't let me zoom back in.
Oh, weird.
Alright.
Do we drop our tokens in Owlbear?
Oh, what?
So the group of you who are shopping and the group of you who are at the church are not here in the Blue Water Inn. So once I get to shopping, then you guys who are shopping will do your thing. But this was just Talon and Irina who came here.
Can I say something to Cal?
What's up?
Can I say something to my party member while we're traveling?
Sure.
I speak in Thieves' Cant saying, after, let's find the local Thieves Guild or gang.
Yeah, we can do that. Answer him back in Thieves' Cant. Yeah, we can do that. Like to see what else they got in this town, though, too.
All right, I'm just gonna put a couple more tokens in here real quick, and then we'll be ready to go.
Is mine too big? Is
Uh,
that better?
It's up to you.
It's easier if I make it like that, to be honest, where it's like a size of a box. Alright, so we're just in here? We're just coming in?
You're just coming in. I'm gonna put a couple more tokens out, and then
Okay.
I'll set the scene for you.
Ah, what did it just do to me? Why did I made my window bigger and it moved me? What the fudge? Why is it doing that? I hate this right now. It's not liking what I'm. Oh, why is there? Oh, there's two. That's why I was confused.
We just lost 2 viewers.
Yeah, they come and go. It happens. People probably just like tune in and tune out. It's how I watch things too. Plus, it's not very fun to watch somebody setting up a map. But we're at 6. That's not too bad. So we have the scene set. I will go ahead and read. Damp cloaks hang from pegs in the entrance portico. This tavern is packed with tables and chairs, with narrow paths meandering between them. A bar stretches along one wall under a balcony that can be reached by a wooden staircase that hugs the north wall. Another balcony overhangs an entrance to the east. All of the windows are fitted with thick shutters and crossbars, which are currently open, letting in the morning light. Lanterns hanging above the bar and resting on the tables bathe the dimmer parts of the room in a dull orange light and cast shadows upon the walls, most of which are adorned with wolf heads mounted in various fierce poses on wooden plaques. You see, as you walk in, that there are 2 young boys that are, like, chasing each other, weaving under tables and, like, through chairs, like, squealing and laughing as they do. There is a woman behind the bar who has the same light blonde hair that the 2 boys have. And you see she's got, like, one wispy streak of white in it that's sort of pulled back into, like, a bun. And you see that she's got, like, a pencil tucked into it, and she's got, like, an apron with a little piece of parchment for taking orders, and she's working behind the bar. At the bar, you see that there are 2 human males that are currently in the midst of a chugging contest that the woman behind the bar is sort of, like, looking at exasperatedly as she, like, looks at the clock on the wall and realizes that it's only, like, 8:15 in the morning, and these 2 boys are at it again. As you step into the bar, you can see sort of in the back near the stairs is a half-elf wearing bright green robes and a huge wide-brimmed hat. His long blonde hair pulled back, like, with braids around the side that sort of meet in the back and go down. His hat is hanging on the back of the seat, and he is working on a breakfast, and he's, like, flipping and, like, jotting things down in a small notebook. As you come in, the woman behind the bar, she turns, and as the jingle happens from the tavern doors swinging open, and she goes, "Well, hi there, y'all. I'm Danica. Welcome to the Blue Water Inn. How can I help you?"
So I'm just, like, next to her, and I'm like, someone told me to come here. He said if I'm a friend of the... And I'm just like, I didn't know what that meant, but they said to come here.
You say, what did you say?
If I'm a friend of the crows, or
the ravens?
Yeah, the ravens, to go to the Blue Water Inn.
Oh, well, that's curious. We do have an eclectic collection of ravens that likes to roost up in our barn in the back. That's funny that somebody would have told you that. It's so nice of them to recommend people to come here and support our business.
Yeah.
Would you like a menu, hun?
Marina, do you want a menu?
Out of character real quick, if I could roll a perception to sense Southern, this is my people. All right, I'm done.
Can I sense the Western?
Here, dear, why don't we get you a seat and we can get you something good. My husband, Erwin, he makes the best wolf steaks that you have ever had. And the chicken eggs, when we get them, which we have recently, he can fry them up nice. Have you ever had grits?
They're with potatoes, correct?
Not many people in Barovia have had grits. It's sort of a local specialty from over on the ranch where we're from.
Yeah.
Man of perception roll.
Sure. Arena, you want to get something to eat? I guess we'll just sit and get something to eat. I asked her, can I go to the barn? Maybe someone left me a letter or something with one of the birds?
I mean, I wouldn't see why you'd need to go into the barn, hun. I mean, we don't make a habit of letting strangers walking off the street and kind of tell us that the birds told them to come in here and then just walk around.
Yeah, that's fair. That's understandable. maybe
I'm glad
I'll...
you understand, dear.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Well,
could I get
guess
you
we're
something
going-
else, though, hon? We have 2 varieties of wine right now. We've got the Dragon Crush and the Purple Grape Mash, but we normally have 4. There's been some supply issues from the Wizard of Wine's winery, but I mean, hopefully those will be solved sometime soon.
Do you have any non-alcoholic thing? Like milk or like...
Oh, sure, yeah. You want some juice, dear?
Yeah.
Oh, we can get you some juice. Erwin, get this boy some juice. And you hear a voice from the back go, all right, hun, I'll get him some juice. We'll get it up.
Hi.
And she said, did you want any food or just juice?
I'm going to be like, Arena, do you want any food? We had
Honestly,
pie this morning,
I
guess.
am famished. I had my pie, but it feels like my stomach is still empty.
That's fair.
And
Hi.
this food smells good. I'm not going to lie. I
Yeah.
think we should get some.
I don't know how much gold I have left on me. So
Oh,
just buy
don't worry
whatever
about
I
it, dear. It will give you the first plate for free if you can't afford it.
No, I'll, like, let me see like the prices and then like, cause I wouldn't.
Oh, sure.
God damn,
Our
you get a
breakfast.
plus 10 on that precision.
Our breakfast options. We got our wolf steak omelet, and that comes to a total of 5 silver pieces, and that comes with a big tankard of a wine of your choice. But in your case, we'd give you some juice, dear. And our dear miss here. Now, what were you lacking? Oh, I'd like the biggest wolf steak you have, please, and can you fry me up 4 eggs? Oh my! Of course I can, dear. Erwin, fry this girl up the farmer's plate, please. And you hear from the back, all right, dear.
Alright, I'll pay her. How much is that?
For the farmer's plate, that is 10 silver, and you wanted the omelet, was it?
Yeah.
That's 5, so it'd be 15 silver pieces total, dear.
Alright. I have 21 gold currently. I don't know how to do the.
Well, you
conversion.
just give me 2 of them there gold pieces, and I'll bring you back 5 silver as change, hun. How's that sound?
Thank you.
All right, dear. And she writes the thing up on her little notepad, and she takes it to the back. She sticks it on this little like line with clothespins on it, and she spins it, and it whoosh, slides back into the kitchen, where you hear, all right, 1 wolf steak farmer's plate and 1 omelet coming up. And you hear the sizzle as some big heavy slab of meat hits the pan. And the 2 of you, go ahead and mark where you'd like to sit in the tavern.
Alright, let me just make sure. Here we go. I guess. I don't know, by the window? Or like either in the. Like by the bar. I don't know. There's no one's. Yeah, maybe right here. Yeah, right
All right,
here.
you sidle up next to the 2 guys who have just finished their drinking contests. You see one of them slam his mug down, and he says, I win, Carl. And you see that the other brother slams his down as like ale spills over his face. And he says, no fair, you started early. And you see Danica turn to the 2 of them and say, boys, it is too early for y'all to be doing that mess up in my kitchen and up in my tap room. Y'all need to stop now, or I'm going to have to kick you out like I had to do last week. And, Huns, I don't want to have to do that to you, but you know I will. And they go, all right, Danica, we're sorry. And one of them goes, can we get a couple of breakfast omelets? And she goes, I think so, and I'll get you boys some bread and some water, too, to soak up all that alcohol. And she says, all right, ma'am. And she writes up another ticket and sends it into the back. So the 2 of you are sitting there. It sounds like your food's cooking. What would you like to do in the meantime?
So I'm going to just. I guess I'll have like a small conversation where I Irina the food's cooking. I'll be like, so I'm assuming I'm supposed to talk with the birds in the barn. Like I'm just like whispering between each other.
As you say that, you say the birds. Suddenly, your like word "birds" is cut off, like at the R, as Danica slams loudly a full tankard of juice in front of you, and she goes, "There you go, dear."
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so like I'm pretty sure like the ravens are supposed to like.
Give me an insight check, or a perception check, I guess.
It's better insight or perception.
Either one you can pick.
18.
Okay. With whichever roll that was, it doesn't matter. Insight or perception. Okay. You see like a vein bulging in Danica's forehead.
Is it?
As she's like staring daggers at you.
Does she not? Alright, can I assume it's because I said birds instead of ravens?
You could make that connection. No, well, you can make whatever connection you want. She's staring daggers at you. After she tried to... I'm not going to say anything else.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm sorry, I did not mean to like offend you. I'm just, I've dealt with a lot of like magical creatures. At some point, it just.
Magical creatures? We wouldn't know anything about magical creatures. To be honest, I don't even like talking about them.
Unicorn. Those are pretty nice.
I would say, though, that if there were any ravens who could communicate and had any sort of business, I imagine they wouldn't want someone in the middle of a public tap room loudly blathering on about it. But that's just my wisdom. And what do I know? I'm just a bartender.
I mean, that's probably fair. But, I mean, like, they recommended you, so I just assume that, like...
Did they recommend you do this?
I don't know. I don't know how I ended up here, honestly.
I don't know either, hun, but whatever you were trying to do, I feel like right now just might not be the day to do it.
That is fair. I just want to make sure everyone's happy. That's my goal in life.
There's a ding as you see 2 hot plates slid up on the counter, and she says, perfect timing. Your breakfast. You can eat it and then go.
Okay.
And she puts it on the counter in front of you.
Oh, God. They really don't like talking about
He gets what she's saying.
Let's look at her. It's like, they really don't like anything to do with even, like, good magic, do they?
She kind of, like, puts her hand up, like she doesn't really want to... She's trying to, like, lay low now. She's like, I don't know, but maybe we should just eat and go.
Yeah, sorry, Arena. I didn't throw it in dinner. And I look at her. Sorry.
Alright, so as the 2 of you dig into these huge, delicious-looking plates of food, your eyes sort of make... your eyes lock as you both realize in the same instant that this food tastes like ash.
Like ash?
Like ash.
Like...
As you're chewing it up, it tastes like gritty, disgusting ashes. And I need you to make a Constitution check to eat.
Oh boy, it's
I
poison.
did not do good. I got 2. Ew. Woo. I guess they burnt it because I...
Alright, Irina, she manages to choke down the steak. And you see she chokes down the steak. You get like 2 bites into your omelet and you can't anymore. And she kind of like looks at you and she says, oh no. Did your food taste right?
No, I'm assuming that they burnt it. It's fine.
As you look at the steak, it looks perfectly cooked. It's like rare. It's medium rare.
It tastes
like ash, right?
Why would it?
I don't even feel full. I just ate like a huge steak, and I feel like I've eaten nothing. Do you have any more of those pies?
Honestly, Arita, I don't think we should eat pies here.
Do you have any more, though? I'm just so hungry.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to bring any of them out in here. Maybe if we
What if we went behind the building?
No, Arena. I feel like you have an addiction now.
Says the guy shoving it in his face this morning.
I'm pretty sure that they are weird. And I didn't.
If you don't want to share the pie, that's fine. I get it. You don't have to lie.
After we leave.
You don't have to lie about it. You can just say you don't want to share your pie.
I don't want the pies anymore, Arena.
Sure. Let's go. And she gets
Okay,
up and starts to storm out.
Right. I'm like, okay.
And
then as soon as we're like a sizable distance, I'm like, here, take the pie. I know you're weird and addiction is this, but like you need to calm yourself. Go sleep. 'Cause that's
Make
what
a
the
constitution. Make a constitution check when
Me
you pull
too?
out the pie.
Oh my god. I hate this. 18.
You like hand her the pie, and again we're gonna hand her like a full pie, and you realize that there's a big chunk missing, and you have it like up to your mouth, and you look down and like throw it on the ground.
Okay. I'm going to just not. Alright, we need to find the others to take away this pie. They were nice, and we can have conversations, but we're never eating these pies again.
Maybe you.
Okay,
I'd like some more
You can have
pie.
the pies. You can have the pies, but just take them away from me.
She does. She takes all of the pies you have.
Okay. Yeah.
She
'Cause
shoves them
I
into her
actually
bag.
need a help
There's like
fight.
chunks of pie like crumbling out of her bag now.
Yeah, I'm pretty s-
And we're going to go ahead and jump over with that to we'll go ahead and go to Ark and Tavis going to the coffin maker, and then we'll do the shopping after that. All right. So
I want to go ahead.
Oh, so what were you saying?
I thought you was jumping over to us. I was going to stop, no matter where we're at upon our journey, and put a hand upon Tavis's chest there. Man, you ever heard of force magic? I felt a disturbance in the force, but it was like the opposite of bad. It was a good. I think I'm gonna like this town. And continue my walk.
All right. So, as you make your way through the town, you have to go the same direction that Irina and Red had to go. So you go about as far as they do. They split off to go to the inn, and you continue. Oh, no, the coffin maker is first. Never mind. You weren't going to the church first. So you split off from them about halfway on their trip, and you travel down this side street to the southwest. And eventually you reach an uninviting shop that's about 2 stories tall that has a sign shaped like a coffin above the door. You see that all of the windows are shuttered up tight, and the street is just sort of like deathly silent as you approach.
All right. Before going inside, I'm gonna stop and take the corn pouch off of the gnome's body. And, well, he ain't gonna need these now. And go on in the shop.
All right. As you go to open the door, you see that it is locked.
Ah, knock knock.
No response.
Is there a sign up around the door or anything like that?
There is a sign that says Vandervort's Coffin Shop.
Doesn't have like an hours of operation?
Nope.
Well, I guess no one's home. Why don't we go over and see if we can arrange the priest part, and we'll just come back in a little bit and see if we can catch him back at his business.
All right.
Going to the church.
Cool. So the two of you leave the coffin maker shop and continue west into the town. Again, just like I said before, you see that the place is pretty happy. There's a lot of smiles and a lot of like hustle and bustle. You're greeted by a lot of commoners. You'll frequently be greeted by, children who will run by you and go, "All is well!" And you'll see, like, men walking down the streets and they go, "Ah, adventurers! All really is well in Vallaki." And you'll see women walking along the street, just like talking amongst each other. and then you hear whispers like, "Oh wow, things are really going well here in Valaki." It's just like a general air that things are going well here. All's pretty well. And you make your way all the way to the other side of the town, where you find Saint Lucian or Saint Andrew's Church. Lucian is the priest. You approach the church, and you see that this slouching, centuries-old stone church has a bulging steeple in the back and walls lined with cracked and stained glass windows depicting pious saints. A fence of wrought iron encloses a gate of gravestones next to the church. A thin mist creeps among the graves. You all are standing outside the church. You can hear music coming from inside, and the gates, as well as the double doors to the church, are open.
I will walk on inside.
All right.
And I will ask for, what did you say the name of the
Father
priest was
Lucian
again?
Petrovich.
All right, I will ask for Father Lucian.
All right. Just a second.
On and out of character side note here, I've almost loaded an entire U-Haul while playing the game over the last 30 minutes from a storage building.
Are you like playing on your phone?
Yeah, I've got my phone in my pocket with my PlayStation headset plugged into the port.
Oh,
and that's how
all
I'm
right.
playing
Impressive.
right now.
Just banging around.
All right. So as you walk into the church, you see that in the or at the altar that there is a very old man. He is very like short and fat, and he's wearing like a very tall, like almost like a pope's hat, basically like a priest's vestment. He is adorned in robes, and he is just finishing up a sermon about, you would guess, the topic of sin, as he says, "And so the sins of our forefathers have punished us to this day, and here we are paying penance here in this church." And he just like kind of goes on, and the people kind of chime in like, "Ah, yes, and on this day we pay penance for the sins of our past." And they begin to like sing a hymn, and after a couple minutes the church service ends. You see that there is a little boy, an altar boy, who runs and starts like putting out like candles and things with his little like candle putter outer. And the father is like walking around shaking hands of the various congregants and like kissing them on both cheeks and wishing them well.
I will walk up to the Father Lucy, or what was it, Lucarin or whatever?
Father Petrovich, Lucian Petrovich.
Petrovich, Lucian. Okay, I will
All right.
walk up to Father Lucian.
All right,
And,
let's see how I can
tell
do
him,
the voice
yes,
here.
I will.
Oh, thank you. You are new in town. I didn't do the voice a second ago because I was trying to figure out what it was going to be, but this is it. You are new in town. Yes, I have heard of you. I am Father Lucian. Introduce yourselves, adventurers.
I thought you heard of us. You
I
must
had
have
heard
about
that
the
they were-
monk that single-handedly killed a wolf.
I had heard that there were strange and powerful folks that had come into the town this morning. I would assume that they were talking of you.
I would assume so. I didn't see anybody else come to town today.
Morning,
I enjoyed the end of your
Lord, be
sermon there.
praised in these times of woe and want. He delivers unto us saviors in these dark times. You bring a light to our town, and you make all well. I thank you, adventurers.
Actually, I bring a corpse. And I agree that we're all going to pay for our sins, but I really would like to pay for a burial, please, Father, if I could employ your services, sir.
Oh, unfortunately, I hate to turn anyone away, but our gravedigger, Milovich, he's gone. He's not come to work for the last 2 days, and I do not get out much, so I have yet to ask after him. Perhaps if you find him, he could help you. I do not dig so many graves these days, as you can see.
I wouldn't mind helping you find your gravedigger, Father, but if you don't mind, I would not mind to dig the grave myself, and then I will assist you in finding your gravedigger.
Oh,
the grounds here they are hallowed and sacred. There are certain rituals that must be done, and only Milovoj is the one trained to do them. But you can leave your
All
friend
right.
here, and we will. I can cast some protective enchantments on the body to keep it from decaying too quickly.
Okay,
Is that a
Father.
question?
That sounds like Go ahead, Davis.
How did
Sounds
your
like a good
poor
plan.
friend die?
See if we can-
I
by
thought
saving
Tavis
the
was
rest
trying to
of
say
us.
something.
Oh, sorry. Were you? Go ahead.
I said
I think he said
died
by
trying to
saving the
save
rest of us.
it.
Yeah, it's that breaking up is bad. We gotta get you a headset. I'll tell the father that I will leave my friend with him, and I will help him find his gravedigger if he will give me any information that might start me on the trail.
Oh, you might start with the coffin maker. I know that he finds work for the coffin maker, Henry Vandervoort, fairly regularly. That's a lot of rolls. And until
You gotta roll the R's.
recently, he was living at the St. Andrew's orphanage with his siblings, but unfortunately last year he aged out. Since then, he's been
Okay.
staying with the coffin maker.
We stopped by the undertaker's coffin maker's place, and no one was there. Where would we find him?
Oh, curious, I do not know. He's usually open dawn to dusk. He must be on an errand of some sort.
Understood. I will see what I can find out and return once I have.
Very good. I had heard that there were more adventurers than the two of you.
Oh, cool. We got a new follower. Thank you, New Music Michael, for following the stream. If we get 7 more followers, I will be giving away some dice on stream. So tell your friends the stream's going. Get some people to come in here and follow. But anyways, back to what was going on.
I would recommend you start with the orphanage.
I think was that what I was saying?
Yeah.
You were saying that he aged out of the orphanage, but
Yes. Okay,
We will
and
start at the orphanage.
yes. Oh, and he was saying that it was odd that the coffin maker wasn't at the shop because this is usually the time that he is. And he says,
When you go to St. Andrew's orphanage, find the headmistress, Miss Minchin. She is in charge there. She should be able to tell you where Milovoj is.
Understood. Find Miss Mitchin to find Milovach.
Oh, yes, I remember what I was going to say now. Before you go, I don't believe either of you are those of faith. You are men of faith. You seem to be physical and disciplinary men of valor or something. Would you happen to have any men of the cloth in your party? I had heard that there were several of you.
No, we do not have anybody that is men of the cloth in our party.
Oh,
sadly.
unfortunate. If you should meet a cleric or a paladin, could you please tell them that I am looking for some help?
Yes, if I come across any, I will let them know. And
I thank you. And he says, but I must
You're
get back to my duties. Yeska, come with me. My boils, they need popping.
and you see the little boy run after him.
I'm going to kind of grimace and go ew and walk out.
All right, the two of you walk out of the church and start heading. He told you that the orphanage was in the south part of the town, in the middle part of the town, near the south wall.
I'll mark on here where it is.
That is where you'll find St. Andrew's Orphanage. All right, and now we will go to Velas, Kellen, and Damien, who were shopping. Cool. So the three of you start walking. The town square is pretty close to the gates. So you split off from the party kind of earliest. And as you turn towards the south and go into the main square of the town, you see the following. I will read it as soon as I flip to the page. Town square. All right. Yes, as you reach the town square, you see the shops and homes that enclose the town square are decorated with limp, tattered garlands and painted wooden boxes filled with tiny dead flowers. At the north end of the square stands a scaffolding, basically, like a huge platform, on top of which are a gallows that have 3 nooses hanging from them that currently are empty. And lined up around the platform, which is about like 20 by 20, you see are several rows of stocks, locked in which are several men, women, and children wearing crude plastered donkey heads. In the center of the square, peasants in patchwork clothes eye you suspiciously as they use cups and vases to draw water from a crumbling stone well. Standing at the center of the fountain, not well. Standing at the center of the fountain is a gray statue of an impressive man facing west. All around the square are posted proclamations. Do you guys want to look at some of these posted flyers?
Sure.
All right. So as you go up to look at some of them, you see that there are like several like taped up over each other. So it looks like one poster has like another poster on top of it. They're not pulling the previous ones down. But the most recent one says, "Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the Wolf's Head Jamboree. Attendance and children required. Pikes will be provided. All will be well. The Baron." And you guys are all in the town square. You see there are several shops that are lining the square. Let's see. There appears to be a general store. There is an apothecary. You see there is a secondhand store. There is a seamstress. And there is a toy shop.
I'm sorry, toy shop.
I go into the toy shop.
All right, the group of you head into the toy shop.
I'll go with him.
All right, cool. So as the three of you walk across the square, as I said, you're kind of getting odd looks from people, especially as you get close to the stocks. You hear a little kid cry out from the stocks as you're passing, "Please, can I just have a drink of water? It's been all day." And you hear the voice from the sort of echoing inside of the plaster head next to that kid, sort of like dully echoing, go, "Shut up, kid, or you're going to get us both in trouble." And you guys sort of pass that. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But you approach a cramped-looking shop with a dark entrance portico. Above the door, you see there is a wooden sign shaped like a rocking horse with a bee engraved on both sides. Flanking the entrance are 2 arched, lead-framed windows. Through the dirty glass, you see jumbled displays of toys and hanging placards bearing the slogan, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky."
I would enter.
I enter.
All right. Cool. So you enter into a dimly lit shop. As you do, a bell hanging from the doorway gives a little jingle, and you see a hulking man sitting behind a work table wearing tattered jester's robes that are green and purple. You see there are patches and holes in them. One of the bells as he's moving, appears to have like been bent, and the little bearing inside is gone. But he has a goatee, and perched on his shoulder is a monkey in a pink tutu. And you see that he is like currently working on what appears to be a small doll of some kind. And as you get in, he quickly puts the doll away, and he stands up, the chair sort of creaking as its weight is released, sort of sighing in relief. And he goes, "Oh, hello, new customers. I am Blinsky. Welcome, friends, to the House of Blinsky, where happiness and smiles can be bought at bargain prices. Perhaps you know of a little child in need of joy, a little toy for girl or boy. Blinsky's is your man. Is no fun, is no Blinsky." And he gives you like a smile, and then he does a little jig, and his bells kind of like sadly jingle.
I chuckle and I say, I am here to ask you a question.
Of course, friend. Blinsky is always willing to speak to those who are new in town. Would you like a toy?
He reaches on a shelf, and he pulls out a wooden string mobile of hanging bats with flapping wings.
And he says, "For this, friend, only 1 silver piece. Make a child happy."
Well, I'm here on business.
What business is greater than the happiness of a little girl or boy? How about this? If that toy was not your liking,
he pulls out a ventriloquist dummy that looks exactly like Strahd Vanzarovich. He like makes the mouth like go, and he says, "I'll eat your blood." It's funny.
Yeah, I chuckle. A man told us that we should drop by here. A man named Stanimir.
Oh, yes, Stanimir. He brings me supplies from the outside occasionally. He gets me gears and such. Yes, does he have word from outside?
He has just returned, but he also said to reach out to you, for you are a friend of his.
Oh, well, I always appreciate hearing from friends. If you see Stanimir, you tell him that old Blinsky says not to get in too deep with it. He'll know what you mean.
All right. I say, I'm here asking questions about the town, really.
Oh, I know some things about town. What would you like to know?
I would like to we were read our fortunes by the madame, the elderly lady there.
Oh, you've met the famous Madame Eva. Very good. She is a very wonderful person to meet, I've heard.
Yes.
I have never had the pleasure myself.
Let's just say we're on business that the devil will not like, if you catch my drift.
We're back up to we're back up to 7 viewers in the Twitch. It's getting pretty close to 10, y'all. Sorry, you can keep going. I shouldn't have interrupted. My bad.
I'm looking for some information about a wizard on a lake, or if you've heard of such a thing.
Oh, yes. There have been rumors of some strange mage who got into some sort of spell-slinging fight with Strahd. And you could probably guess how that went for him.
Yeah. And I've also heard that some figure has lost someone close. What was that prophecy again, out of character?
It was a man of the cloth has lost someone close to him. You could help him.
In this town, has a man of the cloth lost anyone important?
Well, I mean, I know that the last couple days the gravedigger who works at the church hasn't come to work. But, I mean, I don't know if I would qualify that as a man of the cloth losing someone important to him.
Alright. I see. I have one final question.
Maybe that prophecy is talking about old Father Donovich back in the village of Barovia. The last time I was there, I took toy to bring to his son. And I heard unfortunate story that his son was convinced to go try to invade the castle of the vampire.
I look uneasy. I say, I've met that person, that priest. Anyway, I have one last question.
Of
Have you heard
course.
of any figure called the Mad Dog?
Mad Dog. I don't think I've ever heard of an individual known as the Mad Dog.
I say thank you.
Well, that's it, Wayne, other than you deciding how you want to put it.
So is that it? Do you want anything else? You're not even going to buy a toy. Come on. What about this one?
Well,
And he pulls out a headless doll that comes with a sack of attachable heads, including one with eyes and its mouth stitched shut.
I will do it. I'll buy a toy. A toy.
Man, I could run and reverse so much around the world. I could make.
All right. Yes. Do you want that? He says all toys are 1 silver piece.
Do you have any building blocks?
Let me check. And he goes and he says, I have no building blocks, but I've got a matryoshka. You can stack those.
Take those.
All right. He hands you a set of wooden nesting dolls, and as you undo them, each smaller one gets older. And as you get to the tiniest one in the middle, you find a tiny mummified head.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
Wait, who's in my group with me?
I was.
Kellen and Veloster with you.
Kellen.
I whisper to a member of my group. I tell them, "Shit, I'm gonna give this toy to the kid." Outside.
Frank.
That'll probably go over really well for him, just since he's stuck in a stockade.
I also ask him, "Do you have any water bottles that you sell?" Whiskey?
I do not sell water bottles or whiskey, unfortunately. Those are not toys for children. But I bet you could find whiskey at the Blue Water Inn, maybe? I know strong spirits are hard to come by. And you might be able to find some of the other things you mentioned at the stockyard or at the general store.
Okay.
I
Thank you
bow
for your
to him
time,
and I say,
Mr.
I
Blinsky.
need to go to the general store then.
All right, you guys.
I got something I want to do in here real quick.
What's up?
You guys don't mind? Okay. I'm gonna kind of look around the store, with some of the toys and stuff, but get like a little too close for that he might be comfortable with.
Get too close to him?
No, too close to the toys. Like I'm kind of like. I know
he does. You don't get too close for comfort. Like as you like start looking, he like comes around the table and like grabs the toys you're looking at off the shelves and like sticks them up in your face and says, "See, look at this toy. I worked so hard on this." You see his baboon also starts coming and bringing you little toys, and he says, "Ah, yes, good job, Piccolo. Always upselling to customer. Very good, just like we practice." You see the little monkey brings you a wind-up musical merry-go-round with figures of snarling wolves chasing children.
Oh, that's a nice one. You make this too.
Yes, it's so funny, don't you think? The children, they see it and they scream, and they love it when they scream. When children scream, it brings happy to child.
I can see that. Actually, there's a friend of mine I travel with. He would probably love something like this. How much? You said
it's 1 silver piece.
1 silver. Much worth it. I will take it.
Yes.
How do I give you 1 silver piece?
You just deduct it from your character sheet on D&D Beyond. If you don't have money yet, we'll deal with that after. It's okay. It's just 1 silver, so you will have 1 silver. So we'll just figure that out afterwards.
Yeah, you usually get like 75 gold automatically if you're new.
Oh,
all right. And as was there anything you wanted to do in here, Damien, before everyone heads out back into the square?
I do want to get another toy. Doll.
Sure.
For my son.
He digs out, he says, of course, and he comes out with a headless doll that comes with a sack of attachable heads, including one with eyes and mouth stitched shut.
May you have something more childish?
What is not childish
that-
about
'cause
this
my-
doll? It's so funny. Heads don't just come off. It's hilarious.
One with its head on, and
he pops the head on. He says the head does go on. See, it's just removable, and he pops the head back off.
Okay.
It's two toys in one.
It's just my child is very sensitive, and he can sometimes take.
Oh well, this will cure your child of any sensitivities.
Oh.
Okay, I'll take it.
Very good. Go ahead and deduct one more silver. You want to buy something else?
Do you have any dice?
Unfortunately, children are not encouraged to gamble here, and in general, gambling is frowned upon. So, no dice.
Could we bribe him?
Like he's saying he doesn't have dice to sell you.
All right.
You might be able to get some from the stockyard. Maybe that they recovered from some dead adventurer that washed up in the lake.
You get a lot.
Sad.
You get a lot of adventurers washing up dead on the lake.
More than you'd think.
Then I'd hope, probably.
Yeah.
When's the last time that one showed up?
Well, it's been about 10 years or so since the last band of adventurers came through the town, but there are always new corpses unthawing from the mountain and coming down.
I see. That's all I needed. Thank you, Blinsky.
Yeah, very good friend. Do you guys need anything else, or can old Blinsky get back to work? I was just working on a custom doll.
Oh, what kind?
Just for a
So that was
customer, for the town guard. I was making a doll for him.
Town guard?
The captain of the guard, Izek, yes.
Oh, okay. I was just curious, was all. I'm sorry to ask. It's your own business. I should have said anything. I will let you get back to work. If we don't need anything else, guys, are we all good?
I nod and I say, I need to check out the general store.
Yes, I think this is good for now.
Yeah, I do too. Let's head out. Thank you. Thank you for your time, Blinsky, and Piccolo, of course.
Cool. So the group of you heads back out into the town square. You see that there is a guard who is like 2 doors down from you, who is just finishing up, like putting up a new poster. You see that he's wearing a big yellow sash that says Community Event Organizer. Do you want to see what he posted up? He finishes like right as you guys come out. He like walks away.
I'll take a look quick.
You see a new, very brightly decorated in like reds and yellows and oranges poster that says, "Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the Festival of the Blazing Sun. Attendance and children required. Rain or shine, all will be well. The Baron."
Kind of odd to have a festival of the sun in a rainstorm, but okay.
I say, all right, let's head to the general store.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm sorry. I just want to see this real quick. I'm right behind you, Velas.
All right. So, did you say there was something else you wanted to look at?
No,
The
just that.
general
Just
store.
Oh,
I
just
just,
that.
I just
Okay,
want to look
cool.
at that. Yeah.
All right, so the group of you walk
Sorry.
across the square, back past the big scaffolding with all the people in the donkey heads and the stocks. You see that there is another store on the other side called Bits and Bob's General Store.
All right, I answer.
Inside, you see that there is a shrewd-looking woman behind the counter. who has like a jeweler's loop up to her eye and is currently inspecting a ring. And as you enter the shop and the little bell jingles, she looks up and she goes, "What's that? Who's there?"
I speak up. Adventurers hoping to buy.
Adventurers! Welcome to Bits and Bob's Adventurers! I always love it when you people come through. You spend so much money that I eventually recover the items, which makes it even better. Ha ha! What can I get for you?
I say, I first wish to sell 2 items.
Of course. I mean, it depends on what they are if I want them, but what would you like to sell?
He places out a mirror and a nice hairpin. This was from that Alf character out from the house that he looted.
Yeah, I remember.
At the start.
Oh, very nice, very nice. There's an engraving on here, but I can't quite make it out. Was this a family heirloom of yours?
We found this along the road. It was broken. It was from a broken carriage.
Oh.
Broken cart.
Oh, no. Well, I'm glad you brought it here, because I'll definitely buy it from you. Do you remember how much I said it was worth?
5 for the hairpin, 20 for the mirror.
All right, she offers you 10 for both. Not each, just like total. She says, "I'll give you 10 gold for all of it."
I was saying, I would like to negotiate.
I'm sure you would. Well, let's get on with the negotiations then.
13 gold. I'm rolling a persuasion check.
All right, go ahead.
It's 12.
No. I'll say 11 gold.
All right. He nods. He incites them to her.
All right, deduct 11 gold, or get 11 gold and deduct those 2 items.
All right.
She puts them under the counter and she says,
Those will shine up nice and I'll resell them. Would you like anything? Would you like to buy anything?
Yes. Do you sell any armor or anything that is rare?
Oh, no, I do not sell any armor. I could get you general goods. If you need some rope or some chain, I've got those. I've got a few paltry things like this ring here that are various heirlooms that people have dropped off to get a quick coin. I've got some rations. I think I might have a couple of old healing potions around. Do you like healing potions?
I say I do. Could I look at that ring for inspection?
Yeah. She says, I mean, you can look at it in my hand.
Of course.
She just holds out. It's
Okay.
just like a normal ring with a little emerald on it.
And I say, can I do an arcana check to see if there's any possible signs of it having magical, being made for magical?
Sure, you can make an arcana check.
10.
It doesn't look magical to you.
I say, all right, do you have any... Okay, I'll buy 10 days worth of rations.
All right. Rations. That will be 10 silver pieces for, so 1 gold. 1 gold per ration.
Okay, and I would like to buy healing kits, if you have.
Healing kits. Let me look back here. I do have a healer's kit, and it will cost you 8 gold pieces.
All right. Do you have any feed for horses?
I unfortunately don't have any horse feed, but they definitely have that sort of thing at the stockyard.
I asked, if I... Okay, I'll... Let me actually just check something here real fast.
Just out of game, anything. So you can purchase almost anything from the adventuring gear chart. Anything that is worth less, anything that's worth 25 gold or less, you can buy from her but the price isn't going to be the same as in the player's handbook.
All right, I say, and how much would you charge for information?
What'd you say?
Me?
Velas, what did you say?
I said, how much for a little information? I'm seeking something.
Oh, well, that depends on the information you're seeking. This
I
just
am
got interesting.
I am seeking a magical item.
Aren't we all, dear?
Yes, but I've wondered if you've heard of.
I've heard of magical items. I have a few that I like to use. I've got this handy pen here, and whenever I dictate, it writes for me. I have arthritis, you see. I bought it from the Arisec stockyard. They do most of the reclaiming. I mostly just buy things from them secondhand, and honestly, the things that I have purchased, I'm not willing to trade.
All right, but so they may have it.
They do have an assortment of magical gear. It may not all be in the best shape, mind you. It's all recovered from corpses from the mountain. Corpses of those trying to find the Amber Temple.
What is the Amber Temple?
It's a Barovian legend. They say that somewhere deep in the mountains, a mad mage, he had some sort of arcane library, and he hid some sort of dark secrets there, but it's been lost for generations.
Do you know the name of said mage?
Mad something. I heard, the last time I heard the story was when I was a girl.
Maybe this can jog a memory. I side over 4 silver.
She takes the silver and she says, "My memory isn't so good, but I appreciate you giving me 4 silver."
All right, how much do I owe you?
She says, how many rations did you want?
10 rations and a healing kit.
So 10 rations will be 10 gold, and the healing kit is 8 gold, so 18 gold. Oh, you know, now that I think about it, it was, started with a K, or a C, Mad something. Mad
God?
Oh, that may have been it, but that wasn't his name. It was Mad... I'm sorry. My brain hasn't gotten very good in the years.
Do you know anyone who might?
The only person in the town I know of who's older than me is the old seamstress. She might know something. We don't...
Thank you.
The new Baron doesn't look too kindly on the dark folk tales of my youth. He prefers happy festivals.
He is trying to keep the town happy in these dark days.
And he's doing a bang-up job. All is very well.
All right, thank you. I look to my party. Do you two want to buy anything?
I need some stuff, but if Damien needs to go, let him go ahead. And I'm gonna start like again the same thing I did the toy shop and just get really close to things, like probably too close for comfort if it's possible.
Sure. Damien, what would you like to buy? She turns to you and says, "What can I get you?"
I'm good for now.
Oh, okay. And you over there, getting uncomfortably close to the objects on the shelf. Can I help you with anything?
I was kind of just looking for some things. There were 2 things I did have in mind. I don't see them on your shelf.
Well, what is it? I have a book with an inventory.
Well, would you happen to have a kit that would be, I guess would help someone look like somebody else, kind of? Like a disguising kit?
Oh, you want an old disguising case? I might have something like that. Let me see. I know I had one at some point. I can't remember if I sold it or not. And she starts, she pulls out a book and starts flipping through it.
Oh, and by the way, I'm sorry to get so close to your things. I just want to make sure that I'm buying something that is good, of course. Do you have a problem with people coming in here and doing that, or? Problem with
I
thieves or anything along
just,
those lines?
I just have a problem with, obviously darkly dressed characters who I don't know coming in and getting a little handsy with things that aren't theirs just yet.
My apologies, of course. Do you have a problem with thieves here, or just...
Do I have a problem with thieves here? Is that a question you just
I-
asked in my place of business? Yes, I have a problem with thieves. Are you a thief?
I am not, no, but just
we are no
curious.
friend of thieves. We are a good adventuring group, and we were just trying to help this Barovia with its problem.
Well, unfortunately, I do not have a disguise kit. They might have one of those at the stockyard, though. That's something that maybe you've washed up on the corpse of a dead adventurer. And also, there is that half-elf who's supposed to be throwing a carnival at some point. It seems like he might be the type to have some sort of, like, disguises.
Oh, in that case, I'll keep a lookout for that too. Thank you for that help.
Rictavio! I think he hangs out in the Blue Water Inn, generally. He has a room there.
The Rictavio. And we'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Oh, and did you happen to have a grappling hook by chance?
Now, a grappling hook, that's something that I probably do have. I do, in fact, and it is 3 gold pieces.
3 gold pieces? Yes, I will. How many do you have by chance? Just one?
Let me see. I've got 3.
Yeah, I will take one. Valas, did you need a grappling hook?
I have one.
Okay, I will take one then. And
Would you like a length of rope to go with that?
Know something? I have some rope, but having one attached to that would not be a bad idea. So yes, if you have a 50-foot of, like hempen.
Hempen? I only have the silk rope. If you want the hemp stuff, you gotta go to the stockyard.
Where
You
is
know
the
what's in-
stockyard?
It's a good point. Where's the stockyard?
She says, would you like a town map? We sell those for a copper.
Why not? We'll take a couple just in case. We have a lot of people with us.
All right, you get a couple maps, and she marks out on the map where the stockyard is. And it is right here. It's in that little loop right there. It's a little off-center from where I wanted it, but right about there.
All right. Okay. In that case, actually, you know what? I'll wait on the rope. I do have the rope with me now, anyway, so I can just attach it to that one and just replace by the rope later. Thank you for the maps and the grappling hook. How much do I owe you?
1 copper for the map, and it was 3 gold for the grappling hook. And you did or did not want the rope? She has silk rope that she can sell you for 75 gold for a 50-foot length.
Not. Yeah, which I can't afford, so.
All right. So then just 3 gold and however many silver I said.
Okay. I'm just gonna give her 4 gold. And...
Cool. Thank you, Sonny.
Oh, thank you for your help. Again, I do apologize getting too close to your things. I should have been more respectful. I'm sorry.
Do any of you need anything else, or are you gonna head back out?
Head back out.
All right. So the 2 of you, or the 3 of you, head back out into the square just in time to see, approaching from the west, Ark and Tavis with, they don't have the corpse anymore. And you also see, coincidentally, coming from the northwest, are Red and Irina. You all sort of meet back up in the square.
How did it go for you guys?
This town is terrifying. It's really weird. I don't like this town anymore.
Oh, which reminds me. I'm glad you said something. I pull out the toy I bought with the merry-go-round I bought from Blinsky. I got this for you, Red. I figured you might like it with what you do.
Did you get the merry-go-round?
Yeah, I got the merry-go-round with the wolves.
It's a wind-up merry-go-round, but instead of like people riding on horses, it's wolves chasing children.
Oh.
Like a little
the
wind-up
wolves are
music box.
Oh, well, that's very unsettling.
I found some information.
Yeah,
Tell
it's
me
not
about
worth
it.
Well, for starters, there's this amber temple that houses a dead figure, a mage.
Oh, I should unmute Muddy. Sorry, Muddy, you were coming through with a bunch of echoing earlier, so I muted you. I forgot to unmute you. My bad.
I mean, I'm gonna be like, so like, what happened at the church, by the way?
The gravedigger is missing.
Wait, so like, if the wait, how are they gonna put the body in the ground?
Well, they can't until we find the gravedigger.
But I'm so confused. Don't they have like a... What if it turns into like a vampire or something? I don't know how he wouldn't know how vampire works. So, and all
If we
they
want to
know...
bury the gnome, we have to find the gravedigger.
Okay, but I think that doesn't answer my... Okay, I'm assuming you're just not gonna respond.
On what? How they know if it doesn't turn into a vampire?
Yeah.
He's at a church and he's dead.
Is that how vampires... I just look at Arena, I'm like, is that how it works?
He shrugs. I don't know about vampires.
Aren't you like constantly being bit by one?
Does that make me an expert?
I mean, I would assume so.
Well, you know what they say about assuming.
I talk with birds. I don't know what they say about assuming, Arena.
They say it makes an ass out of you and me.
I can turn into that, literally, so that doesn't affect me at all, Arena.
Well,
right.
For your information,
when
no,
you
I
can
don't
turn
know much
into
about
a
vampires.
giant
I know
bird,
that
then
they don't come in if you don't let them in. So if a vampire tries to enter your home, they have to ask your permission. So that's the best way that I found to keep them out.
But didn't
No, and
did you
I
let
hear that
Strahd
they,
in your house, Arena?
Well,
I hear they don't like hollow ground either.
They do not like hallowed ground. That's true. It's been rumored that the church here in town is the reason, along with the wall, that the devil, we can't say his name, hasn't come here in so long.
Sweet.
I do know.
How do you get in your house? Just looking at her, like...
Well, he didn't come in through the door. He came to my window at night, and he tapped on it as a bat, and I walked over and opened it, not knowing what was going on, and the next thing I know, I awoke the next day with a bite on my neck.
Arena, no offense, but I expected more from you.
How was I supposed to know he was going to be able to do that to me?
Because even I would... A bat knocking on your window?
I thought it was a poor injured creature that had crashed into it.
It would have most likely had rape, Arena. I'm just going to just have this conversation. You guys can continue.
I say, I bought healing kits, some rations.
Oh, I'm proficient with a healing kit.
And I found I found out that there's an amber temple in the mountains, and the only one who might know more is the seamstress.
The seamstress?
Yes, she apparently knows more about the legends.
Velas, don't forget that we've also had a couple stories about dead adventurers washing up on the lake, which doesn't sound good either.
True, but...
Ew.
Wonder if there's a connection between the two of those.
Well, we have to ask around, or eventually have to deal with danger. It's our job.
No, of course, I understand. I just wonder if there's a connection between the two of those things.
Yes, I have a feeling that might be true. I say we go to the seamstress and then to the yard, who has the more adventuring gear.
Oh, by the way, the food here tastes like literal burnt ash. So, Yeah, they cook it, but it still tastes like burnt ash, and I'm concerned about that. Just so everyone knows, don't eat the food. Was the juice okay? You never said anything about, like...
The juice
I'm gonna raise
just
my
tasted
hand
bitter.
For the waitress.
Tasted bitter?
It just tasted bitter.
And the drinks don't taste correct.
And do Tavis and Ark, did you guys share what you found at the church?
Yes, we share everything with the group, and then I smell the delicious cooking here, and I decide that I need to order some food.
Sure. You guys are right. You guys are all right outside the Blue Water Inn. You can smell the cooking meats like on the air, and it's just about dinner time. You guys have taken up about your whole day traveling through the town. Sure.
And that's where I'm going.
All right. So the group of you enter from the dreary, wet, rainy streets into the warm, toasty, delicious-smelling tavern, and you see the big old blonde hair of Danica as she smiles and she says, "Oh, it's my weird friend from earlier, and you brought more people with you. Hi, y'all. I'm Danica. Welcome to the Blue Water Inn."
Thank you, Danica. It's nice. You met him already.
Yeah, hi, Danica. I would like to again apologize. I'm new to the town.
Hey, it's all right, dear. Like I said, I'd recommend that if you're trying to go in and get word about some weird stuff, maybe not to be so loud about it, hun. People in this town are quick to cast judgment is all, if you know what I mean, and I would prefer no suspicion coming on our establishment.
Understandable. I do apologize.
Oh, it's fine.
I must say, I'm gonna say I'm a cleric, but not a cleric. I'm gonna lie. I'm going to try that. Be like, I got magic powers from God, like a cleric. That's what I'm gonna say. Would that be? Is that a deception?
That would be a deception because you're not a cleric.
Technically, well, oh yeah, I'm not saying. Well, I'm not saying I'm a cleric. I said I got my powers from like a god.
Well, druids don't get their powers from a god.
Well, no, like in my backstory is what. No, that's what he assumed.
Oh, okay. Well,
so would it be kind of a deception? I'll just roll deception.
Just roll deception.
Yeah. 12. It's like, yeah, I got my powers from like a god nature.
Oh, well, isn't that special? I would recommend you also not go around talking about powers, dear.
Oh, okay. So it's like, I don't know if I'm like a cleric or something. I don't.
Fun.
I'm bad at
I coughed for a second.
Anyways, would y'all like to have a seat and order a meal?
Yes, and a room.
Of course.
The man who keeps talking.
Of course, yeah, just have a seat, y'all, and we'll take care of you. And as you're all led to a seat, you see the two little boys. One of them is, like, carrying a carrot that he's taken a couple chomps out of, and they're chasing a little dog around the inside of the place now. You see the dog has a little squeaky toy tied to its tail. It's, like, bouncing all over, and the kid's just chasing it around.
Is the dog saying anything? Like, is it...
In your beast speech, the dog is going, "Chase me, chase me, chase me! Chase me, chase me, chase me!" And they are chasing him.
That's adorable.
And we are going to go ahead and call it there. As suddenly your conversation, as you're sort of discussing what to order, is interrupted. As a golden-haired individual in long, flowing green robes with a huge wide-brimmed hat with pointy ears of an elf steps in front of your table, and he says, "Hello, my name is Rictavio, and I hear you all are new in town, and I would like to, buy you all around?"
Cool.
I say in Elvish, I don't drink.
I wouldn't complain about that. Ignore him, he just doesn't do things.
He goes and he says, "Danica, bring all these fine people around on me." And he says, "And with that, I always like to introduce myself to new people in town. My name is Rictavio. I have a traveling carnival, or at least I did until I was unfortunately trapped inside of this hellish place. And now I drink.
Actually heard your name earlier
trapped
today.
in here?
Well, I mean, as are all of you. Yes, trapped.
Wait, are they not doing that?
Oh, we're not allowed to leave.
No, of course not.
Oh, God.
They told us we were allowed to leave.
Well, they tell everyone that. They told me that as well. The Vistani are all liars, is one thing you will find out very quickly. Do not trust any of them.
Oh, they're oh, no.
What about
and
that
I just
steak?
look at him.
What
And
about
I'm gonna
that
start
steak?
talking in Elvish. I'm like, wait, are they? And I'm gonna say in Elvish specifically, the guys that work for Strahd?
As you say, the name, even in Elvish, Strahd is still Strahd. And
Is
as
it
you say...
Oh, okay, then I would say the devil. If it's the same
Okay,
as
yeah.
the same, then, yeah.
Sorry, what was your question again?
Oh, I said, are these, like, the people that work for... that? I'm saying most of it, I'm saying everything except is the devil in Elvish.
Every single one of them. Every single one an agent of the devil himself. All actively keeping us here while bringing more in whenever Strahd has finished with his most recent round of playthings.
Alright. We're burning everything to the ground. I say it in Elvish.
As you do that, he raises an eyebrow and he says, "Are you serious about that?"
To an I'm going to just say again in Elvish. I'm going to, like, all this, anything that I'm going to say controversial to him, I'm like, in Elvish. I'm like, yeah, no, we're not staying here.
In Elvish, he says, "Meet me at the Arisek stockyard at after dark. If you're serious about what you just said."
Alright. I'll do that with him.
Come alone, and do not make sure you're not followed. If
Oh,
someone follows you here, I will know, and neither of you will see me.
Alright. I'm going to be like, look for, if you see a black cat, just know that that might.
He winks. He says, "Gotcha."
Right.
And he sits down and he says, "But anyways, I always love getting to speak in the land of my home country. Thank you for that exercise in hospitality. You know, it's been so long since I got to exchange kind words of pleasantries in my native tongue."
I whispered to the party what exactly went down between the two of them.
We are gonna end here. As you guys all sit down together, and he orders himself a wolf steak.
What was his name again?
Rictavio.
Rictavio?
So, we're going to end here, everybody. Everyone can take 100 experience points for the session. But that is all that we're going to get today. I have a new thing to tell you guys about the way I'm going to be handling inspiration in the server. For my games, you can now bank inspiration, and we'll keep track of that somewhere on your character sheet. So whenever you get inspiration points, you can save them, and if you get 15 inspiration points, you can trade them in for a feat.
Alright.
So as you guys get inspiration for nominations and things like that, you can use them to give yourselves advantage on a roll. You can use them to give me disadvantage on a roll, or you can save them up to trade them in for a feat once you get 15 of them. We didn't quite manage to make it to our goal for followers or viewers today, but we did average about 5 to 7 viewers the whole time, which is up from our usual about 3. So that's pretty sick. Thanks everybody for tuning into the stream. We're going to go ahead and do nominations, and then we'll wrap up. So we will start off at the top. Go ahead, Caladria. Go ahead. Do you have any nominations?
Not really. Not to this game.
Yeah, after that last action-packed session, this was kind of a chill one. Muddy, do you have any?
Yeah.
Let me think for a minute and I'll get back.
All right, Pazuzu, do you have any?
I'm kind of up in the air between Muddy. Between Muddy and Claudria taking the lead on getting the information from the various sources when they went to their respective places at the church and the.
Yeah.
I'll do a second on Glad then. That's
And
probably
I
my
do a
torch.
second on Muddy because, yeah, he did find us information.
All right, so Clad and Muddy can each have a point of inspiration. You both definitely pushed the story forward tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Red, do you have any nominations?
I was gonna say Muddy.
Okay, cool. So Muddy, you already got one, but you'll keep that one. Damien, do you have any nominations for tonight? They're for things that were like
Muddy.
particularly cool character moments, good role playing, something that somebody did that pushed the story forward that you think deserves a commendation, just that kind of stuff.
I think all of us should get a nomination, because we all did great.
I agree that each of you are special and lovely.
But you can only pick one.
But you can only pick one.
Dang. Fine. But most of all, it was actually Claudria that put the story into an interesting way.
I agree. Yeah, glad you already got that one, but thank you. Tavis, do you have one?
Just the same as everyone else. Cladry and Muddy for pushing the story forward.
All right, cool.
I will say I'm disappointed that they did not catch that the toy maker said the devil's name, and they didn't catch on to that.
That was my mistake. I also realized that I did that, and I was hoping nobody would catch me on it. I was like, wait, he's not supposed to say that. So he slipped up.
I caught it, but I wasn't there.
Yeah, that wasn't like a him being devious thing. That was just a me saying Strahd when I wasn't supposed to. That was a DM slip up. I'll give you an inspiration point for catching me on that.
I figured since it was in the town and it was just us, like we weren't going to care because we were new and just got told about this. And if he was here and if he's in the town and knows better, then it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Right.
I didn't think anything of it.
All right. Well, thank you.
I heard it too at the time, but
yeah,
good mention there, Tavis.
Yeah, there's still a lot we can still do in this town.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
All right.
there is a ton.
Well, thank you guys so much for playing tonight. We will meet back up next Wednesday, so make sure to get in there early to get your spots requested. We got a couple plugs to do here before the end. For all the for all those in the Twitch stream, like I said before, we have a goal tonight to have 10 viewers at the same time. We've managed to get as high as 8 during the stream today. We have a second stream coming up after this one where our second group is going to play through their chunk of Strahd. So if you'd like to come back for a little more, we have a second opportunity to meet that goal. Once we reach 50 followers, I'm giving away some dice. They're glow-in-the-dark Chessex dice. They're not cruddy, bad dice. They're fancy name-brand dice. I picked them out myself because I thought they were cool. And if we reach 10 concurrent viewers, I'm going to give out some of these nifty DiceDad stickers. Let me pull one out. Some of these nifty DiceDad stickers. And I will send you one in the mail if you are picked for that. But we got to get to 10 concurrent viewers for that. On top of that, we have upcoming our Friday games with Weeb. I believe his Quartz Oil Tower game is coming to an end. So they're going to be looking to start something new pretty soon. So that's your chance to get in on the ground floor of a group. I know that Muddy is working on an Underdark campaign that we're still kind of working on scheduling for, but I keep an eye out for that. I think that one might actually be full already.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that one's already full.
It filled up in 42 minutes.
It will be very fun to stream that one, so definitely stick around for streams, because Underdark campaigns are no joke, you guys. It is brutal. So there's that coming up. We have several community polls in our Discord right now. So if you manage to make your way into our Discord, we're taking votes on upcoming modules for when Strahd's over. We're taking votes on movie nights that we're doing. We had a movie night last week, or at the beginning of the week. It was either Sunday or Monday, where we watched Dracula since we've been playing through Strahd, and we got to give away some cool stuff during that too. So we're going to be doing that kind of stuff all the time. Just check in with our Discord. We also have a Patreon in the works, so keep here for more information about that. We've got some really cool merch ideas planned to go along with the Patreon. So, just like keep an eye out for those. But with that, I don't have any more plugs for you guys. Thank you so much, party, for joining us tonight. I'm going to go rest my voice for 20 minutes before the next game. But all of you guys on the Twitch, stick around, come back. We're doing another game in 20 minutes.
All right, bye.
Thank you for the game tonight, man. It was well done. I love the voices. You did well.
Thank you very much. See you guys later.
I have a question to ask you.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yes, enjoyed the voices, sir.
When he was referring to the Vistani in character, was he referring to the actual town or the ones who, like Stanimir?
He was referring to Vistani in general.
Yeah, I didn't know if he means we couldn't leave the actual town.
Oh, no, he meant that you could not leave Barovia.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I
all right, but
misunderstood.
It's all good. But yeah, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off of here, guys. I will see you all in 15 to 20 minutes for the next stream, and I'll see everybody in the Discord throughout the week because I talk to them all the time. Have a nice night, everybody.